here. What do you guys say? Make some noise for all the drivers for the Gym Canada, for the Gym US, for the Gym International. All right, before we send in and introduce you our top 16 drivers, we want you to please stand for your Canadian national anthem. Starting off first in the Roush Performance Mountain Tires Ford Mustang. Say hello to JTP Justin Hood. Next up, the 777 Beast from the Bay Mountain Tires Drift KB. Say hello to Matt, the Beast of the Bay, Theo. How you doing out there? Say howdy, Jim Rowdy. In the BC Racing Ditto Tires Ford Performance Ford Mustang RTR, it is Chelsea Denova. Next up, one of your veterans since day one, Courtney Day, high five from you. In the turn 14 distribution Falcon Tires Subaru BRZ, it is Slide or Daichiro Yoshihara. Next up, 2010 100 Champion Monster Energy Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR, it is Bon Kim Jr. Cool, calm, collected, I come to fill in, all smiles for miles. He's in the 959, it is World War Coffin in the Ford-powered S13, Medford, Oregon, it is Matt. Put him in a coffin! Look at this guy, back out here, the biggest state, the littlest text. Here he is, car number 144, Hankook Tires, and Juga Racing S13.4, little text, Nate Hamilton! With more models than anybody else here, in the come-out, nameless performance, Hankook Tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota GT86, Ryan Taylor! Next up, coming down the line, hard-fought battle yesterday with the wall, but he's back and he's ready to throw down the Oracle Lighting, Achilles Radial, Dodge Viper from Ireland, Deep Carnage, Carnage! Don't get it confused, not Carnage, small hands, smells like cabbage. With no models, I'll be in a model, buddy. Long-time Formula Drift veteran, commuting all the way from Japan, and the Jerry Yang Achilles Radial, GTR, Robbie, Pashida Blandashida! 2015 Formula Champion, he is back behind the wheel of a new vehicle, the Rockstar Energy Drink. Next in tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla, I am, it's a mouthful. He's got a handful, the Norwegian Hammer, Frederick Osborne! Next up, another Toyota Racing teammate, the OG, original Gucci. He is in the Ready Performance, next in tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota GT86. It is the Goosh Ken Gucci. And next up, not only is your #1 qualifier, but the Black Magic Top Qualifier Award, $500, and a case of Black Magic Intense Tire Wet, presented by Ashley Kahn, brand manager of Black Magic Canada. Go to the Warehouse Falcon Tires S15, and your current points leader, James the Machine D. Give me that money. Give me that money. All right, only a couple more cars. Let's move it on down. The Latvian lover, the HGK Motul Achilles Radial, BMW. Say hello to the dangerous one. That is Christoph Blush. All these flags being represented. You got Latvia, Ireland, you got Norway, Japan, America, many different nationalities, but the only Canadian driver out here at top 16 is the Perry Performance Center, Big Paradise, Run BC, Achilles Radial. Make some noise for Mark Logano! Sanu Stash, are you ready to send it? Let's get this party going. Round 5, the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackie Dash Cameras. I'm Jerry Deanna, Ryan Taves, Ryan Taves, Brian Egger, Andy Yen, Lorette Nicole in the crowd. Let's send in Sanu Stash. Make some noise!
I've been talking the whole time. I don't get it. Yeah, I've been doing commentary.
Ryan, it's great to be back up here. Just did all the driver intros. What's up, man? What's going on? My voice cracked there a little bit. Just ran up some stairs.
I just want to say you did a great job down there. That was very exciting.
Super pitted. The energy is electric. I think everybody's super excited, and the Canadian fans, you know, they're elated, man. They're hyped. Sold out crowd. Sold out. No seats available, but every seat's going to be available because people are going to be on their feet. They're going to get hyped.
Yeah, this Canadian crowd is just an amazing crowd. They will definitely stay till the last battle here tonight. A lot of them are camping. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the action from the top 32, Jared, to show us kind of where we got. This was one of the first battles of the afternoon. A big break here for Chris Forsberg as he kind of re-engineers that new vehicle with the VQ twin turbo. He was beat by Daijiro Yoshihara. Now, this was probably the most controversial battle. We had collision between Robbie Nishida and Odi Bacchis that resulted in a protest that was overturned. So Robbie Nishida will have not only a berth into the top 16, but into the Grade 8 because Peter Vincek in that same top 32 did not make it to the line for his bye run. And here we see Matt Kaufman that was looking very, very strong. Great performance here. Unfortunately, a competition timeout for Alec Honadale forced him out of competition. Vaughn Ginn Jr. against Jonathan Castro. Castro looked amazing in the chase position, but just pushed a little bit too hard in a challenging part of the course. He was given fault there, knocked out of competition with Vaughn Ginn Jr. moving on, and then Ryan Turk, of course.
He made that bye run look probably one of the most exciting bye runs we've seen ever.
Yeah, so a backwards initiation into the touch and go, and then our final battle was Ken Gucci and Pat Gooden. A one more time battle, and Gucci was able to kind of button up his chase run on the second half, and he will be moving on into the top 16.
Beautiful sunset, beautiful backdrop for what is going to see some fierce competition. It's just such a cool juxtaposition. You look at the backside of the major bleachers here, and it's just big green farm field, and then you pan 180 degrees, boom, you are right in the thick of it. So looks like we have something going on down on track as we are. What's that? Yes, I know. I'm very aware. As we're only speaking, Ryan, we should clarify, we're only speaking to those that are watching at the comfort of their own home, not to the house. But look at that little wedding proposal there. Homeboy comes out, she's crying, he's pumped.
I'll give you some backstory to this one. So basically, they tricked the girl. They said, hey, you can whatever, Stacy Grinaldo come down, she won a prize. And so Stacy came down and she was going to win a prize, and then that guy jumped out from behind the K-rail and did his wedding proposal.
So she gets a ring, and she also gets a sweet sunburn, man. She's been out in the sun, so she's been enduring. She deserves it. Wow, she deserves a ring.
Yeah, he did. That guy brought some passion to his kiss, too.
Yeah, easy.
He got in there.
It's a family show, guys. Jeez. Passionate Pat taking some tips there. Laying hot and heavy. We got the meats as we are getting ready again for top 16. And we do have one bye run, which is, you know, bye runs have now made their way into the 16 as Robbie Nishida will advance on into the Grade 8. But yeah, man, that's awesome. We've had a few proposals over the years at different events. You know, Irwindale being one of the most popular. We had two last Irwindale.
Yeah, we had one in Jersey as well. It's really hard to accommodate them all, but if you can, you try to get them in.
I mean, you know, it's interesting to me. You know, I mean, you know, we've been announcing, or we've been involved with Formula Drift for 14 years, and kids have grown up listening to us. People have now forged relationships with either the drivers, teams, companies, with you and I, and people have met via drifting and Formula Drift in particular, and now they see it as a special place near and dear to their heart. Hence why they feel they want to take a next step in life at an event such as ours.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many events can you go to? I mean, with the exception of this one, because we are kind of constrained away from the general public, but all of our other events, you can literally walk to the side and yell, Jared, hey man, give me a shout out.
Yeah, bro, it's my grandma's birthday. she's 65. How old are you, man? Yeah, we're very accessible. You could, you know, bring up beers, you can bring up, you know, food. Even though, again, contrary to popular belief, we were not inebriated whatsoever last night, and we are not inebriated now either.
Just having fun.
Just getting high on life. Just fully torqued and poutined out.
It's definitely a different setting
Sweet
when you're not talking to a live audience at the same time while talking to the live stream audience. It just, you can't do the same kind of chatter with both groups. I tend to like this a little bit better.
Yeah.
It feels more personal to me. But you know, it is what it is. So.
It's fun, it's casual, it's cool, and it's about to get chaotic. But first, we are going to announce our winners of the Centerline alloy wheels, and that is Cassie Voss. Cassie Voss won the Centerline alloy wheels. Congratulations to her. As man, it sounds like I blew up my voice. I was yelling down there. And then also the winner of the Drifts hardcore wheels for the street, Robin Horston. Congratulations, Robin Horston. You have won the set of Drifts hardcore wheels for the street from atdwheels.com. So, again, we are getting the cars to the start. It's a car in the box. We're talking about the burnout box. All right, so the custom-built bleachers there as they enter the gauntlet. The gladiator style, 2 minutes or 1 man leaves. The top 16 is about to begin. We are live. Round 5, Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage will also get some insight on the judges and their feedback from Ryan Lontaine, one of 3 judges, alongside Brian Eggert and Andy Yen. And finally, getting updates down in the pit and the paddock is Lorette Nickel. Lorette Nickel getting some words with either the drivers, the crew, the staff when it comes to competition timeout. We've already had a few wacky things unfold, either, you know, something as simple and remedial as a competition timeout, 5 minutes, or cars not able to run, or Peter Vincek. Speaking of Peter Vincek, it's his teammate, James Dean. James Dean is about to throw down. He is your #1 qualifier, $500, Black Magic, intense tire shine, tire wet spray, and he's going against Daijiro Yoshihara. These guys have never seen competition against each other, both of them on Falcon tire, so we'll see some Falcon tire shrapnel over the track. Look at that winning percentage. I mean, James Dean had a season a few years ago, but now 75%. It's got to be the highest due to the minimal amount of runs he's had and the success he's had, especially this year. So James Dean, Dai Yoshihara going against each other. Dai Yoshihara taking out Chris Forsberg, and James Dean being the #1 qualifier, got the bye run. So this is his first battle here in Canada. I think this track is really going to suit his style. We saw him, you know, just look fantastic in qualifying, not once but twice. And then Dai Yoshihara, you know, he did have a go round with Forsberg, but he's looking strong. So I mean, that's it just bears repeating because it can be anybody's day. Seeing Larry Chen there, little Jesse Wood getting prepped, talking about the media fellas down there in the pits. And looks like we are getting the camera strapped on, ready to go. Ryan, next episode of Formula Drift on CBS Sports, can you recall at this point in time?
There should be one tomorrow, probably.
Yeah. All right, so again, you can watch Formula Drift on CBS Sports. Check the schedule as today is, what is it, July 15th?
Yep, next Sunday we have Formula Drift Insider, Road Atlanta.
Nice. All right, so on CBS Sports, yeah, Formula Drift Insider Atlanta. That's, you know, again, a different perspective of the Formula Drift show and behind the scenes, and see the inner workings, see some of the tussles, or see some of the, you know, the stress. So, all right, so live announcer Steve and David DeSoma getting the local crowd hyped. Parlez-vous français? And here we go. Our first battle of the top 16, James Dean, Daijiro Yoshihara. James Dean leaves out of the start chicane. James Dean initiates. Dai Yoshihara slowly kind of rolling into it. Not an aggressive or nasty flick. Looks like he's tiptoeing to the side of James Dean, that Wordhouse Drift Team S15. Now working it into that first front clip. Boom, right past it. No problem for the Falcon Tire shrouded vehicles of Dean and Yoshihara. Into that second outer zone. Yoshihara, nice job there. Great chase execution by Yoshihara. This is where the smoke signal really comes into play in that transition. James Dean, great lead run, but I got to tell you, Yoshihara, strong chase, really strong chase.
Yeah, especially the second half of the run here in particular. You can see it gives him a little bit of room there. Dai makes a slight correction there on initiation, barely noticeable, but judges looking at this with a very, very strong eye. You can see James goes very deep into that first outer zone. Nice job on that inside clip, and James does have the line down pat here, but Dai starts to pour it on through the smoke line, super close right here as James wraps around that second inside clip. Nice transition back. Dai right there, again pushing the pace. So a good lead lap from James Dean overall. We typically see this from him. Really hard to criticize his lead laps. They're so perfect. He very much has that Frederick Osbo type strategy, which makes the chase driver really have to work, and then the pressure of having to put down a similar lead run on Daijiro Yoshihara. But Dai was able to stick with them. Had some moments where he got really, really close, and now he'll take the lead against James Dean, the series leader.
Yeah, James Dean, series leader, #1 qualifier, 2 victories this year. Dai Yoshihara, he's owed one. He's definitely in the mix. Okay, we got track hold right now. Seems that. All right, might just be a little bit of debris out there on track. So I just want to make sure it's nothing that could cause some damage to a car. All right, so again, looks like just a little piece of paper, sticker or something. All right, so no big deal. Again, a little lull here. And we are clear to send. Get an official word here. Again, we're in the judges box, myself and Ryan Sage, with the 3 judges and what we call P2. Some of the banter here on #FDCanada, it's pretty comical. Here we go. Dai Yoshihara, James Dean. Is James Dean going to get taken down? Dai Yoshihara, turn 14. Distribution, Dean. So you can see him. He does have the proximity, but he is exceeding the nose of Dai Yoshihara. I'd like to see him drop that just a little bit, and he does just that there. Now look at this transition. Nice job by Dai Yoshihara. Nose is in. Gets out to that touch and go. Great execution. Out to the second outer zone. James Dean. He is in the mix. The machine. Does he have a flaw? Can he make a mistake? Great execution there. And now crossing the finish line, Ryan. I mean, two phenomenal battles as Dai led in this and Dean led in the other.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Dean from the get-go really closed the door. And as you said, he was exceeding the front wheels for a second there, but he got right back into it. You can see he's utilizing some left foot braking on the bank, but he's staying very close to Dai, and Dai is running a tremendous lead lap. He knew that he had to do that, and you can see the proximity here. Dai on that second hash mark through that second inside clip. Dean just threading the needle as he transitions into the final and third inside clip. So great run by both competitors, a strong chase run from James Dean, and an equally strong lead run from Daijiro Yoshihara.
Shout out to Mark Webb, the Webby Show from UK, tuning in and watching. Got a lot of fans watching all across the board. They're cheering on their homies, friends, or just their favorite driver. Mark Webb working on his drift car and even watching it. So as we are seeing James Dean and Dai Yoshihara awaiting the verdict. Ryan, do you think we have a definitive winner? I mean, don't say, but do you think we have a winner?
I believe we do, yeah.
Okay, all right. We're not a one more time? Okay, all right, here we go. Dai Yoshihara, James Dean, slide him left for Yoshihara, slide him right for Dean. That's a one more time from Andy, Brian, and Ryan say. Brian says James Dean. Ryan, James Dean gets the victory and advances on. So James Dean gets the win, taking out his Falcon Tire teammate, and James Dean moves another step closer, more points as he moves on to the grade 8. A round of applause for Dai Yoshihara. That was a well-executed battle for him.
Yeah, I think the difference there is just that the duration of proximity for James Dean really started from initiation on. Dai had really good proximity, but I think on the bank, James kind of mastered it there. And sometimes when you have such a competitive battle like that, you can tell the differences between the two runs, and you can feel justified in giving the victor or giving the winner to James in this particular case. So once again, he continues to impress, but now we'll see Robbie Nishida, who's going to have a bye right into the grade 8.
Yeah, yeah, Robin Ishida, Jerry Yang Racing, Achilles Radial GTR. He will be advancing on into the Grade 8, a bye run due to Peter Vincic. Unfortunately, he couldn't get his car fixed. And now he will advance on. Yeah, competing in FD since 05, so just 1 year shy of since day one, since year one. But remember it vividly. It was just yesterday. 12 years ago, Robin Ishida, open-faced helmet, showed up in his Team Orange S13 with the truck bed, back end, the Seal Camino. This is a good opportunity for him to really test the limits and parameters of this GTR, because I mean it just got debuted. I think round 2, was it even round 3?
Well, it's also a good opportunity to
round 3
test the track conditions. You know, as we heard from Vaughn Gittin Jr. in his interview earlier on in the afternoon, when the track drops down to where it is now, you can see the track temperature will also drop down anywhere between 15 to 25 degrees, and that's going to make a difference in grip level. So the setup is going to be key for Robbie Nishida. He may not get the exact track conditions, but you can see the sun is no longer down on the track. We're getting into all artificial lighting now, and so drivers are going to have to deal with that as they move on into the latter rounds.
Ryan, seeing some of the fans here. Sammy Haydar watching all the way from Saudi Arabia. That's pretty awesome. And again, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's personal. But again, hashtag FD Canada. Thanks for watching. Let us know where you're watching from. Fredrik Aasbo, the Norwegian Hammer, and his Rockstar Energy Drink. Nexen Tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla IM. As Fredrik Aasbo goes against Little Tex, Nate Hamilton. Aasbo has taken down Hamilton once before. All right, so 4-cylinder turbo Toyota Corolla IM versus this turbocharged V8 S13.4. Fredrik Aasbo coming back from his native Norway, winning the Super 3 competition. Ryan Lantain, one of our judges, was out there as well. Super 3 competition, where it's basically a tandem 3 triple drift competition. So right now, Fredrik Aasbo throws it in. Nate Hamilton in tow. Aasbo not getting all the way out to the outer zone, but slowly works it in. You know, doesn't have the much of a bumper hang on the back as Hamilton centers that black magic intense front clip. Keeping a consistent distance between Aasbo and Hamilton. I'd like to see Hamilton a little bit closer. Now he lunges forward, takes out all the front clips. Let's look at this again here, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing overall is Hamilton mistimes his transition off the bank into inside clip number 1. We'll see if we can get it from this replay here, but you'll see it as soon as we cut back. Watch Hamilton as he transitions right here. He's going to transition too early, and he's almost going to go on the other side of that inside clip. So he's going to have a big mistake on the line there. He's able to kind of stay in the drift competitively, but again, Fredrik Aasbo out front. Pretty strong lead run, like you said, just a little bit deeper into the first outer zone he could have been, but overall strong performance there, and now they'll switch things up.
Again, fans from all over the world watching from Finland. It's 3 in the morning there. It's pretty awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Local time here, just 8:30 in the evening, obviously, and now Nate Hamilton will lead. Fredrik Aasbo will give chase, and we are clear to send. Hamilton, let's see if he can throw it down. Aasbo, one of the best chasers in the business, and he's really making this Toyota Corolla IM. Oh, it looks like we have a restart, so that's a restart. All right, Hamilton jumping the light.
Can't really fault him there.
Why is that? Just, do you think he's...
Well, just, you know, he's got a a really fast, quick, grippy car to deal with in Osbo, so trying to get the best jump he can.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for being a little jumpy here.
Your Jumpy Connor.
You know what movie that's from?
Your Jumpy Connor? No.
No? Terminator 2.
Oh, okay. No. No, didn't get that one. T2. We have P2 up here. Unstoppable Force, P2. Yep. Watching from Mad Mike's hometown. How we doing? Sure, bro. Okay, so Hamilton, let's see if he gets a clean start here. He jumped the light. The center lights will illuminate, extinguish, and it's go time. Time to send it. And here we go. Hamilton out front. Looks like he got a clean start. And here we go, the second half of this battle. Hamilton, good initiation, good angle. Can he work it out to outer zone? Pour some more angle on it. Osbo gets into formation. A lot cleaner transition for Hamilton. Osbo actually deeper, entering that second outer zone. Hamilton getting nastier with it, but Osbo cannot be shaken. Around the final clip goes Hamilton and Osbo. I mean, that's a hard act to follow there.
Well, even with the big mistake, you have to give credit here to Frederick Osbo. He gave a little bit of room to Nate Hamilton at the beginning, but then he poured the pressure on. Now, Nate is not deep into that first outer zone at all. Osbo still able to navigate through the smoke cloud here. Nate gets out to that touch and go. So does Osbo. He keeps him in sight. And then right here, he attacks on this second inside clip. Watch as he transitions right here. Boom. And through the finish line is Hamilton with Osbo in tow. So nice job by Nate, but just too much to overcome here with Frederick Osbo.
Yeah, Osbo, just one of the best in the biz, and that's why he is a former champion. He's got a lot of seat time. Slide him left for Hamilton and right for Frederick Osbo. Gets the victory. Frederick Osbo gets the win. Hamilton, Little Tex knocked out. The team car number 144 in Juku Racing is knocked out. So Frederick Osbo advances on, and that's some points, you know, gaining some ground there on Essa. Essa gets knocked down 32. Here's Osbo now quickly into the 8, into the grade 8. You can see the RTR signature grill lights of Chelsea Denofa. Chelsea Denofa will be going against, who's he going against here, Ryan? Just behind him? Mark Landerville. So Mark Landerville, the only Canadian driver here, or Canadian driver competing in the Pro Championship, I should say. Never gone against each other. Yeah, the fans really cheering on their fellow Canadian here in the building, but Chelsea Denofa garnering a lot of attention as well. He's had some phenomenal runs in qualifying. One of the top 5, or the top 5 qualifier, number 5. So Denofa will lead, Landerville will give chase. And we are clear to send. A lot of chatter online, keep going. Here we go, Chelsea Denofa out front, Landerville giving chase. Denofa initiates. Whoa, look at him digging deep and digging way too hard into the wall. Sparks fly. Denofa gets eaten by the wall. That was a ton of fireworks. Not the kind you're looking for, as Landerville in the chase position. He does not need to complete the run, but it will help him out just to make sure he runs the car. He does not need to, because in that chase position, when a car goes into the wall, that's a hard act to follow.
Well, that was a really bad crash by Chelsea Denofa, very hard into the wall. Watch, you can see he initiates very close to the wall here, and we've seen this happen. We saw it with Essa. It's that section of the course right there, and it's one of the reasons why the judges said, look guys, to get full points for the bank, you only need to enter at the mid part of the bank. So it gives them opportunity to create some room there, because it's not a completely smooth surface, and allows him to enter in the bank and ride it all the way around. Denofa just got a little bit too wide there, and you can see he sustained some heavy damage to the vehicle. I highly doubt that this is going to be a competition timeout opportunity. in order for him to get the car back to the line, and that would mean Mark Landerville goes right into the grade 8. That was a very hard hit by Chelsea DeNofa.
Wow, yeah, that's a hard hit. And Ryan, just to add to that, yeah, the arc of that first outside zone is not perfectly round. It bottlenecks out, and he went into where it pinched him off. So that's a hard hit. As you said, we'll see what unfolds as Chelsea DeNofa steps outside of his car. We'll see if a competition timeout, 5 minutes. I mean, they make the cars modular, but don't know if he's going to have enough time. It's going to take a while for this car to get off the trailer. He's already on communications with his RTR team. So right now, Chelsea DeNofa will have to assess what goes on with his team. But right now, Laurette Nickel caught up with our current points leader, #1 qualifier, and also a driver that is going to find himself in the grade 8. That's James Dean.
James Dean is moving on, but you told me it has been really stressful sitting around during the top 32. So how do you get your mind right when you're on the line for top 16?
It's really challenging. You know, we got a big long break, so almost 3 hours of sitting down, waiting around, and it's very, you know, if you overthink things, you can whoa, that's loud. You can mess with your own mind. So I try not to. I try to, you know, spend time with the team, my friends, the fans, and not think about it too much until we're right out there in the start line. And yeah, it seems to have worked in that battle.
And your spotter told you go 110%. Obviously, that risk really paid off.
Yeah, so we're battling Dai Yoshihara, one of the people I really look up to and have been doing for years. I knew it was going to be a really tough battle. I led first, led the best lead run I could, and I could see he was right with me the whole way through. And Michael, my spotter, came on the radio. He said, you need to give it 110%. So I risked it, and especially entering the first corner, I thought it was too close, but we managed to pull it off and keep going. But, you know, they're the things you need to do when you're competing at this high level of competition. But I'm so happy it worked out. We're moving on to grade 8, and yeah, congrats to Dai for driving super well. He was great to follow, and that makes the chase driver's job a lot easier to do as well.
Congratulations. James Dean is moving on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laurette, and thank you, James Dean. Look at that. That is not where you want to see your suspension, your BC Racing coilover, and your Centerline alloy wheels. They should be attached to the car. So, unfortunately for Chelsea DeNofa, and a little lull here in the action, but, you know, no risk it, no biscuit. And Chelsea DeNofa say howdy, get rowdy, and he got too rowdy. As when we continue back here, we'll continue with our top 16. So thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick commercial break, clean up here on aisle 1, and we'll continue with more Formula Drift action here at round 5 of 8 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Welcome back, as it seems that we did get Chelsea's vehicle off. Laurette Nickel caught up with the former Formula Drift champion. That is the Rockstar Energy Drink. Next in tires, Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla IM driver, Frederick Osmo.
Frederick Osmo, congratulations. Moving on. You told me that you were given some advice to be careful out there, and you're trying to navigate that. So how do you do that?
Yeah, it's hard out here because it's so easy to be caught by surprise initiating here. You know, some guys have a little bit of a checkup, some guys are really fast. I had some close encounters in practice, and, you know, seeing what ended up taking out my good friend Jonathan Castro today, I tried to be a little bit careful behind Nate, and it ended up being way too careful. And I think the lesson learned is that I've got to be on their door, and that's the goal for the rest of the night.
So the sun is coming down, it's getting cooler, there's a lot of rubber on the track, so there's a lot of grip. How are you dealing with that?
Yeah, this weekend's been a roller coaster ride, you know, from scorching hot to cold to rain to full dry. And what's interesting is that when it cools down, it actually gives you more grip. So as the night cools down now, we're actually taking a little bit of grip out of the car to try and bring it back down, because we're running everything at full speed, full power, everything. This track is really grippy.
Wow. Well, best of luck. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Jared?
Thank you, Laurette, and thank you, Frederick Osbo. As you can see, ambulance getting back into position and working it out. speaking of Frederick Osbo, he is one of the drivers on the Takata team. You can pick up your autographed wallets from him and the likes of Matt Field, Chris Forsberg. Find yours at TakataRacing.com. The signature green harnesses now applied, and you can have one courtesy of TakataRacing.com. Formula Drift Takata signature wallets available at TakataRacing.com. You can see the flags a waving, which is a good sign. That helps clear out the smoke. Christoph Blusch, Matt Kaufman. Look at that. You could see Matt Kaufman's taking out Christophs. They've seen battle against each other one time before, but Christophs is nothing easy to defeat. But Kaufman, when he's on, this should be a really fun one. Just knowing how these drivers are progressing, how they're driving, what's going on in their heads, and their vehicles are ready to do battle. We're already seeing some claims here. Wolf Racing saying James Dean's going to get the win. That's Christophs. Christophs under the bleachers. Under the bridge is where he drew some blood.
You want to know what the fans think, Jared? We've got we did a poll in the app, in the Formula Drift app. 36.5% of the fans that answered think that James Dean is going to win. 12% think Ryan Turk. 10% think Frederick Osbo, and then there's a bunch of drivers that are tied for 5 and 6%. So
okay. Osbo is a robot. Well, some would agree with you. Christoph Blusch, Matt Kaufman. I am a robot. Lorette is not single, FYI. Lorette Nickel is happily married. All right, so here we go. Christoph Blusch, Matt Kaufman. Ryan, who do you think is going to come out on top?
I think it's going to be one of the drifters for sure.
Christoph Blusch, the Mass Motorsports V8 under the hood, throws it in. Matt Kaufman back there a little bit of distance. He's giving him too much, and look at that. He's gaining some more ground on him. Christoph transition, big smoke cloud coming off of the BMW, courtesy of some Achilles radials. The Nexen tires gripping up now, gaining up to the door of the BMW, slowly teeter-tottering that black magic intense flipping point, and quickly just ripping and tearing through the course.
Well, Christoph Blusch once again showing just how much grip and speed he has in that vehicle. Kaufman doesn't get the jump that he wants, and you can see the gap here. And Blusch makes a little correction in steering coming off the bank. He's looking a little wild, but snappy right there. You can see the front wheels moving around a little bit. He is able to fill the zone, so he's not running away, but a little bit wild out there up front. It's what we come to see from Christophs, and it's what we love about him. But you can see Kaufman struggling a little bit to keep up with Blusch through those very important parts of the track. So now we'll mix it up. We'll see Kaufman go to lead position, and Christophs will chase him down.
All right, so look at that. You could see Chelsea Denofa's car. They are inspecting all the damage. I mean, when that thing touches the ground, they got 5 minutes. They got a competition timeout, Ryan. I mean, that's going to be a feat.
Yeah, we have not heard an official call yet from the team. That means that they at least are pondering it. If they thought it was a lost cause, they would have let us know. So they are pondering it. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to accept that and try to knock something out in 5 minutes. It seems like a really big task at hand, but you never know. Yeah,
I mean, they, the RTR team has really worked, just feverishly to make those cars as modular as possible, knocking off a corner. A lot of the drivers, they have parts boards where it's like a front right corner, front left, back right. They'll have parts boards. So for an instance like this, they have everything ready to go, nuts, bolts, everything, boom, they'll break it out. But it just depends on how bad, and if it's just that front right corner, I mean, it looked like the back right hit pretty hard too. All right, here's the second half of this battle. Kaufman now out front. Christophs yet to get that win. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Will he find himself engaged like the girl earlier? Wow, look at that. Oh boy, you say. That definitely warrants that. Christophs dancing with the villain right now. These guys too, it's like the battle of the villains. Oh, boy is right. These guys, all sorts of oh boys thrown around. Kaufman into that outer zone. Kristaps lunging forward.
Jeez.
Getting into his business. Oh! Oh, what is that? As we see the headlights illuminate the smoke. Are you kidding me? Make some noise.
Wow.
This is when I miss being a live announcer. It's like, come on!
Well, Kristaps right out of the gate gets in the pocket there. You can see he's really moving around. Now, Kristaps' car has so much grip that he really has to try and be careful not to make contact with Kaufman here, because you can see he's accelerating up past him at certain points. And you can see he's having to make adjustments to the steering, but it's an incredible job of not making contact, but at the same time maintaining such close proximity. Meanwhile, Kaufman out front, huge angle as he wraps around that second inside clip into the third. He goes a little bit long there in the third with the amount of speed because Kristaps is just chasing him down. And look at this again on initiation. I mean, right there, almost touch wheel to wheel. You can see a little bit less angle from Kristaps as he makes an adjustment, but he certainly is staying very, very close to Matt Kaufman all the way around the track, and it's a pretty impressive feat. See the wheels there, Jared?
Oh, they're touching there.
There's the tap, and you can see Kristaps does have less angle than Matt Kaufman.
Yeah, it played an optical illusion on me when the lights hit the smoke, but there was contact there. Kudos to Kaufman for staying in it. I mean, you know, and obviously his suspension taking the hit and taking a lick and keep on ticking. The Wisefab suspension on both these guys.
I think, if anything, it's going to come down to the lack of proximity from Kaufman on his chase run. You know, Kristaps had some mistakes in his chase. He had a little bit less angle in certain areas, but he maintained consistent pressure, and that's going to, I think that's an important part of this overall battle.
Yeah. Okay, so we are waiting for the verdict. Nearly 3 a.m. watching Zenko ZA. Excuse me. Results are in. Are we going to Kristaps Blush? Slide him right for Blush, left for Kaufman. Who's going on to the grade 8? Andy says Blush. Brian and Ryan says one more time, and Brian says Kristaps Blush. Kristaps Blush gets the win and advances on. Oh man, I mean, bummer for Kaufman. I mean, he hung it out there, man. That was but again on that first battle with Blush out front, Kaufman just did not have the kind of pomp and circumstance that that Kristaps had, the impact.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great. I mean, I think the one more time there was probably because I don't think that one particular judge thought that. Oh, and here we are looking at Denofa is going to take that competition timeout. But what the judges are looking for is they're looking at both lead runs compared, both chase runs compared, and then the driver that did better overall. I think for the two judges that went with Kristaps, he had the better of overall, but you could make the argument that Matt Kaufman maybe had the better lead.
Right. All right, so already a minute expired. They're trying to throw a coilover on the corner. We'll see if that's ample time, see if the car is ready, up and running. Less than 4 minutes now. So Matt Field, Dean Carney. Matt Field, 100% victory over Dean. 2 battles between these two gentlemen. Look at the horsepower, over 2,000 horsepower. I mean, just the average horsepower of these vehicles exceeds 1,000 horsepower. It's just insane. So Matt Field will lead in his Falcon tires, Drift Cave, Black Tracks Performance, S14.5. Dean Carney, Oracle Lighting. The Oracle lights are on, and the Achilles radial underneath. All right, Field. Headlights are on. The sun is not all the way set, but the lights are on. And here we go. Watching all the way from Ireland. Cheering them on. Chris Turley, how we doing? All right, so Matt Field, Dean Carney. Oh, look at Dean. As Field throwing down a cloud of smoke. Nice job. Transition, big angle there. Dean gets in the back. Oh my goodness, that was a hard hit. All right, let's look at all the angles here. Ay, ay, ay.
Wow.
Wow, that was a hard hit. We got thumbs up, so now talk about how sensational it is. Yeah, thumbs up. That was a hard hard hit, Ryan.
That was the first I think we've seen here. Let's go back and look at Dean's transition. I thought Dean was transitioning a bit early, and it may have forced him into the back of Matt Field here. Let's just take a look at that. Watch Dean in the rear. He's going to transition a bit early right there, and he's headed right towards Field. It looks like he's going straight into him there. And then that forces Field, who's already at angle, almost straight into the wall. Watch again here. Right there, Dean. So Dean.
No, Dean straight. He initiated, but he straightened. So it was a double dip, man. And Field, I mean, he had a sick transition. Just watch Field. Nasty, sick angle. Boom. Because Dean he initiated early, straightened out, and just punted him.
Let's get it again from that other angle where you see Dean straighten up, if we can, from the inside. Right here, and let's slow it down. You'll see Dean, as he transitions, he's going to straighten up right there. And Matt Field was already getting ready to do his transition back around, and you can see by the sparks there, it goes right to the front of right through the front of Matt Field's vehicle, right to the frame, and everything that's in front of that is completely destroyed.
Wow.
This may be a day ender for Matt Field potentially here. That was a tough hit, and I'm really happy to see that he's out of the car and okay.
Yeah, I mean, safety is our #1 priority. You can see him smiling, working out his neck. I mean, that car's seen some hard hits, man, and that's a lot. That is a lot of work on that car. You know what? I mean, hats off to all these guys. I mean, these guys, they're throwing it down. They're really just trying to put on a phenomenal show for, all the fans, all their sponsors, and that was a big hit. All right, so the judge is really trying to analyze what went down here, who's at fault. At first glance, that's what Ryan and I were kind of talking through it. All right, so looks like Matt quickly inspecting his vehicle. So again, here's Field transition. Yeah, I'd love to. Ryan Latain, we're bringing you in. We're looking at this from different angles. You look at each car independently. Matt looked like he had a really good transition. Did he hang it out too much? Did Dean initiate early? That's what Sage is kind of alluding to. And then he had that correction. We're talking about Dean here.
Well, from my point of view, you can see that Matt Field is doing a great job in the lead. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. And from certain angles, you can actually see where his car starts to rotate ever so slightly just before Dean impedes that rotation and won't allow him to rotate, which sends his car straight into the wall. So if you watch here, his car starts to rotate just slightly, but Dean's there and his car can't rotate.
You mean rotate the opposite direction to get the nose pointed in the proper way.
Right, so he's totally committed to the throttle to have that exactly like we tell him to do in the driver's meeting, to get that car rotated and then slow down at the wall. But he needs to have that momentum to be able to do that. So he's going through there fully committed, expecting to be able to rotate his car. As soon as he starts to rotate, all of a sudden he's got something impeding that, blocking the car from rotating. The momentum is taking it towards the wall because that's where he wants the car to go.
Right.
He's just expecting the back of the car to go to the wall, and now he can't do that. So that's where the front end of the car ends up going into the wall. Dean just got really aggressive, got himself in the wrong spot. We saw Christophe Bluch before this, in his run, he pulled off a bit of a miracle, I find, in the chase position, where we all went, whoa, like, we thought he wasn't going to make it through, but he managed to make it work. And I think Dean, not that he was trying to mimic Bluch, but he was trying to do that same type of move where he would throw the car in really aggressively as Matt reinitiated, which is what we tell him to do at that touch and go, flick the car really aggressively. So I think he was hoping to get right in there, and he just misjudged by, probably a few inches, if we're going to be honest here. He almost made it work, and it almost worked out for him, but clearly
I think Dean saw it coming too. That's why he saw him straighten when he goes to transition, and it looks like he straightened out. So yeah, it got scary there.
Now Ryan, real quick, Ryan, have you guys made it official that Dean's at fault? Yeah.
Yes, Dean's officially at fault, all three of us. Okay. And I think it's pretty clear that he was at fault in this situation. There's no question about it. Matt was doing exactly what he was supposed to do.
All right, well, thank you, Latain, as we have Lorette Nickel with another interview down in the pits as we pull Matt Field's vehicle off. Lorette?
Thank you, guys. Chelsea Denofa just told me he was feeling really good, and we were talking about grip with some of the other drivers, and you made some adjustments. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off.
Yeah, we took a little bit of grip out of the car, and we were monitoring the track temp. Up, and I threw it in just similar to how I have been, and it just was too much, and I tried everything I could to stop it from going to the wall, and about 30 feet from the wall I decided it was happening, and I tried to do the best wall hit I could and the nicest one, and you know, I went in soft but got stuck in it and got sucked in, so it just didn't quite work out in the beginning or at the end.
So your mechanic, Chris, told me that there was kind of a new plan coming in, and they were telling you, you know, go 10%, go 50%, go 70%, and unfortunately fortunately or unfortunately, that seemed to be working very, very well for you today. So going into the next round, how do you start repeating that?
Yeah, I mean, this event went amazing. The team did a phenomenal job. We worked together every single step of the way. It was perfect. Like from our first run out to even this, like it was like, you know, now we know not to make that type of a call, or, you know, try to go the other way with it. You know, it's, you know, going into the future, it's just one of those things where you got to learn from your mistakes you made here, forget the past, and, you know, look forward to everything.
Okay. Chelsea, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Jared.
Thank you, Laurent, and man, what a bummer for Chelsea. I mean, it seemed like it was going to be his. I mean, he really just showed some phenomenal signs of grandeur. As look at that thing, oof, that thing got a nose job, and that was a botched surgery. As that thing has seen better days. Matt Field going hard, and Dean Carnage. When we come back, we'll be spinning right round into an amazing top 16 here. Are you still watching us? Yep, we're here. So when we return, more round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. When we return, more top 16. All right, so look, here is what's going on. Wow, these guys are savage, just ripping and tearing into that Dodge Viper. Goodbye, bumper. Barely used bumper for sale. Oh, man.
Like new.
Yeah, like new and fresh in box. Wow, so the Bridges Racing team working on the car. Dean is at fault. That means he has a competition timeout that he needs to use. 5-minute allotment for him. And with Field not being at fault, Ryan, the scenarios, if you could explain them.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a tricky one for Matt Field, because if he does make it back to the, not make it back to the line, he will win the battle, because Dean is at fault, but he won't be able to compete in the next round. So that's the bummer for him. If he can make it back to the line, then obviously, and Dean can make it back to the line, then there would be the second half of the battle. So there's a number of different scenarios here. If Dean doesn't make it back to the line, but Matt does, then he moves on. So the best case scenario for us as fans, and for Matt in the situation where he is not at fault, is either of the latter two. Either both drivers make it back and they do the second half of the run, or Dean is unable to make it to the line, but Matt is, and then he would move on.
You can see James Dean looking on as they've been traveling together here. This is Mark Landerville. So Mark Landerville on the second portion of this battle, and Landerville will get the victory. He went against, who did he go against? Denofa. So Denofa unable to run. This is Mark Landerville because of Denofa crashing out and unable to fix his car within that 5 minutes. That means Mark Landerville, the only Canadian in competition, will advance on to the Grade 8. Man, we are seeing a lot of carnage here. Not just Dean Carnage, but a lot of vehicles go into it. Look at this, Matt Field, headlights looking up, looking cross-eyed there. Look at that. I mean,
crazy guys, huh?
Really checking that thing out. I mean, pushed a lot of it in. We'll see. So it's always interesting for me, just because, you know, you and I were up here in the booth. It's always cool to see the different perspectives of the competitors and the teams, and seeing how hard they're thrashing down there.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Matt, you know, you try to do as much as you can to get the safety part checked off, so that our staff will let it back out there. And then just in terms of the functionality, it can be functional, but not at a top level where you would want it when you're competing against another person. Because he's obviously going to have a big advantage here. If he were to go out against Dean, he would not want to have a 0 or an incomplete, so you want it to be functional enough to make it through the course. But in the case that Dean doesn't make it back to the line, all you want it to do is show that it can actually function. So that's the lower standard.
Yeah, just roll out, and it's not going to be. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, Formula Drift Canada. All right.
Whose fault was that?
Did
somebody just let it roll off the back?
I guess so. Hopefully everybody's okay there too. All right. All right, well, this is one for the ages. These guys, both in Mustangs, and you know, we've seen some great rivalries develop in Formula Drift, and these guys, you know, two different schools of camp thought. I mean, we've seen some arguments, some disagreements. Last I've heard, they've made up, but still, it's going to come to a throwdown, knock 'em out battle. So Vaughn Gittin Jr., Justin Pollock. Justin Pollock will lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will give chase. Two very aggressive drivers, know how they go against each other. Let's see what they throw down. Justin Pollock initiates. Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase position. Throwing it on the door. These guys, mano-a-mano. It's a Mustang battle right now. Justin Pollock into that second outer zone. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gaining proximity now, throwing some more angle at it, taking out that Black Magic Intense front clip around the final clip. Ryan, let's look at this again. I mean, the tension's so thick you cut it with a knife.
Good battle here. You can see JTP, that quick initiation, that right to angle. Great job there, deep into the bank. Vaughn is with him. You can see a little bit slightly less angle from Vaughn for a second there. Justin actually overextends that first outer zone. He's able to bring it around to that inside clip. Vaughn's keeping an eye on him here as Justin, pretty decent job on that second outer zone. Vaughn's going to close the door real tight right here, make a little bit of adjustment, lose some angle in the car. Nice wrap back around by JTP, but Vaughn is right there, bouncing right behind him. So a good battle here in the top 16 between these two Mustangs. So much history here. So many bragging rights.
Yeah.
On the table for one of these two competitors, as now we see more action in the paddock with Dean Carney.
And we are hearing that Dean he's not able to make the competition timeout, so he will retire.
I was told that Dean made it.
Oh, wow. So we're hearing from Lorette that Dean Carney did make it. So, all right, we'll get clarification here. But wow, I mean, kudos to his team. The Oracle lighting, it looks like one of the Oracle headlights is on. And the Achilles Radial Dodge Viper. Okay, so we are actually hearing, I first heard that he didn't make it, but now it is, we'll clarify, I just want to make sure, don't want to misspeak here, but now hearing that murmurs that Dean Carney has made it within his competition timeout. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Justin Pollock, that's who's on track right now, the second half of this battle. Second half, here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. out front, Monster Energy Nitto tire, Ford Performance Mustang RTR, the Roush Performance Ford Mustang on Falcon tires of JTP, Justin Pollock. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates. Justin Pollock trying to gain some ground. Vaughn not getting all the way out there, trying to work it towards the wall. Now he does. You can see the reflection, an indicator of how close he is to the wall. Justin Pollock, look at that, aggressively chasing down the three-wheel motion of Vaughn Gittin Jr. Into that second front clip. Go both the ponies. Vaughn, massive angle. Pollock now throwing some on. Look at the cloud of smoke. Nuclear as he crosses the finish line. Unbelievable.
Well, lead to lead, Justin may have had a slightly better lead given the bank. Though he did make some mistakes by staying in the bank a little bit long. But Justin actually had a pretty sizable mistake on the last turn. You can see he doesn't really have the proximity. Vaughn was able to keep a little bit closer distance here. Now watch as they transition back around. This turn is very important for setting up the second inside clip. Watch Justin in the background here. Vaughn hits that second inside clip. And JTP is actually going to lose some angle right there and almost drive straight around that last inside clip. So that's going to be a pretty sizable mistake for him as the judges take in both runs and try to give us a victor.
I mean, hats off to both these guys. If both cars survive, as we saw with Dai Yoshihara and James Dean, I mean, that was a close battle. And it really comes down to just who made less mistakes in order to get the victory. And these guys both drove very aggressively. They know who they're going against. They have a lot of tension, a lot of rivalry. As we heard, most recent they've made up, and you know, they want to do battle on the track. May the best man win. So as we are seeing, Vaughn Gittin Jr., JTP awaiting the outcome. Who's moving on to the Great 8? We're bouncing all around the brackets as now we're seeing Matt Field and his team. We're seeing the whole Drift Cave team. You can see Chelsea Denofa looking over there as well. All right, slide him left for Vaughn Gittin Jr., right for Justin Pollock, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the victory, advances on. Hat tip to the Roush Performance Falcon Tires Ford Mustang of JTP Justin Pollock. But Vaughn Gittin Jr. will see another battle in the Great 8. Who's he going to go against? It's either going to be Ryan Turk or Ken Gushi, as Turk and Gushi will go against each other. So we're seeing all hands on deck here. And Ryan, as far as time allotment for Field, again, Dean Carney at fault.
Yeah, well, we saw a similar scenario to this with Blush and Carney in Road Atlanta.
That's right. It was Carney.
And,
Carney's really living up to his name.
It's 10 minutes for the person that is not at fault. That's the allotment for each of the individual rounds.
Right.
And Matt's team will want to take as much of an advantage of that as they can without pushing it too far, because he's already in a strong position here with not being at fault. So we see that.
Does he thrash to get it okay and try to do battle?
Exactly.
Or does he just say, all right, I'm going to take the advancement to 8 and just park it?
Exactly. How far can I get so I don't zero out my run?
Right,
basically, you know.
All right, so that's what's going in the paddock right now. But on track, we'll find out what goes on there. But this would be the last battle of the top 16. Ryan Turk, Ken Gushi, 2 Toyota Racing Toyota GT86s. Ryan Turk behind the wheel of the Gumout Nameless Performance Hankook tires, and the Bruce Brigade head captain here in the Gretty Performance Nexen Tire GT86 of Ken Gushi. Here we go. Ryan Turk initiates. 2 very similar setups. Oh, and Turk into the wall. Gushi. Are you kidding me? This track is claiming another, not 1, but 2 vehicles. Let's make sure they're okay as Ryan Turk initiates. We saw him go into the wall yesterday. That was almost identical to what he did, and Ken Gushi in tow. Ryan, you could see, look at that, flames out. Turk, you saw some correction from Turk. Did you see his wheels?
Well, he had an understeer.
Oh.
He had an understeer. Now, we heard Frederick Osbo basically say that there's more grip in the track right now at nighttime. And you don't know exactly what drivers are doing with their setups, but there's a big understeer from Turk out front. And Gushi, obviously trying to keep close proximity, is following Turk as the lead driver, and both cars are going to go into the wall very hard.
Yeah, did you see Turk's front wheels? Like you said, understeer. You saw him correct, and he felt it. He's like, oh no, I've seen this. I read this book before. Oh my goodness, dude. This is just promising to be one of the most devastating vehicles event ever. I mean, this is just carnage. Straight automotive genocide. I mean, this is insane. Man. So as we are seeing the conversation continue, download the app. Man, I mean, this is going to be interesting. Last man standing. Survival of the fittest, as you can download the Formula Drift app, live scoring, alerts and stats, exclusive content, breaking news alerts, get notifications, access to the free live stream, ability to buy tickets, and the new Fan FD Rewards program, exclusive game and contests, and special video features available on the App Store and Google Play. So download it for your mobile device now. And also Blackview Dash Camera, presenting sponsor, giving you an opportunity. You got a moment here in between all the calamity here on track. So text BVMON1 to 38714. Again, BVMON1 to 38714 for a chance to win a free Blackview Dash Camera. It must be 18 or over to enter. Retail value $379. So an opportunity for you and your car to be connected. Ryan Ken Gushi's out of his car. Seen some of this raw footage overhead.
Well, what's going to happen here in terms of judging is the judges are going to see, A, is there any fault assessed to any driver, and B, were they independent incidents? Ooh, that's really going to be the determining factor here. Clearly, both drivers are going to have a lot of work to do with the car. Just at first glance there, you know, it looks like Ryan Turk had a big understeer. He was going pretty hot into that first corner. The question will be whether or not that caused Gushi to go into the wall as well. Did Ryan lead Gushi into the wall, or was he going to be going there independently? Right. That's a tougher call to make. We know that for sure that Turk made a mistake of his own.
Yeah, I'm seeing the thrashing here by this team. That, you know, Dean Carney, we saw him get on his car, and the Nameless Performance team, they're going to work on Turk's car. Ready Performance, they're going to get on Ken Gushi's car. I mean, I haven't seen the paddock this active since, my goodness, a lot. My goodness. All right, so when we come back, we'll get these two Toyota Racing Toyota GT86s off the course, and this seems like the wreckers getting more track time than anybody else. So when we return, we'll see some more head-to-head battles here at round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Hashtag FD Canada. Keep the conversation going, folks. Wow, look at this. As all feet are on deck, not all hands, is kicking some intercoolers off. Ryan, we're talking about, I mean, 6 of the top 16 vehicles have gotten into the wall or something.
Here's the clock here. Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, that's going to be a wrap.
So he's gonna win the battle.
So to clarify here, so Matt Field was going against Carney. 5 minutes was up, so Carney has to retire. But then Matt Field has so another 5 minutes. Oh, so 15. Got it. But again, go through the scenario, basically. So the 10 was allotted because Carney was at fault. Now he's using a competition timeout, which is 5 minutes.
Yeah, and if he doesn't finish it in 5 minutes, then he will still win the battle, but he cannot move into competition. And that's obviously so that, you know, teams don't utilize this to their advantage in order just to be able to move on in the bracket. They actually have to make it to the line in order to compete and move on in competition. So he would get the win and the points, but he wouldn't be able to move on.
All right, so a lot of carnage. Oh, my goodness. Look at that, getting Gushi's car. Yeah, let's take a look at all the carnage and crashes that's happened here tonight. There's not a highlight reel, but a low light reel. This is Peter Vincic. We saw him earlier. Boom. That's where he went in, and
that was a day-ending crash for him because he didn't make it back.
That was in practice.
That was in practice before top 32. Then we had Chelsea Denofa. Same situation here. You know, just getting into the tire particulate by pushing a little bit too hard before it got dark. Now here's Dean Carney, the transition. He straightens out, hits Field. Field goes hard into the wall. And that is where we are now with Matt Field and Dean Carney. And then this just happened. You see the understeer there from Ryan Turk, and then Gushi follows him in. Turk's vehicle lifts up, and Gushi's car almost goes underneath it after making contact with the wall. So this has been pretty insane here. Now, we need to get some clarification on the fault for this battle, I believe, still. But either way, it'll be a incomplete for Ryan Turk.
Seinu Smash, Formula Demolition, all of it. I mean, it's seen a lot of these accidents and crashes. Hats off to the team. I mean, the clock is ticking. You're seeing Chelsea DeNofa try to help out here even. Look at that. And that's Kevin Wells there, Formula Drift technical director down there.
I was just talking to the judges, and it does look like they came to a conclusion on the Turk Gushi scenario. It looks like that they are going to give overall fault to Ryan Turk. So now we're going to get into the same situation that we are with Matt Field, and Kearney, where Ken Gushi is going to be Matt Field and Ryan Turk is going to be Dean Carney.
Okay, got it. So Turk at fault. Competition timeout will be called by Ryan Turk. See if he can get it fixed. And Gushi will have his 10 minutes, and as Field even applied his competition timeout, so total 15 minutes. Crazy.
Yeah. The biggest problem with some of these big wrecks is that a lot of times the cars are just not 100% afterwards.
Right.
It's almost like they need to get taken back to the shop, maybe be straightened out, maybe spend a little bit more time. When they're trying to fix these vehicles in 10 to 15 minutes after you've just smashed like you have on the 710 freeway or the 405 or something like that, it's not really the best in terms of competition. Right. You're just kind of hanging in there. Sometimes it works out fine, when it's superficial, and like you said before, these vehicles are built in a very modular way. They're meant to break in certain ways when they hit the wall. But there's only so much you can do to compete against physics.
I mean, they just broke the bash bar off. You could see, there's another bash bar there. It looks like it has a break in it, that white support beam there, right where Chelsea DeNofa's hands are at. You're seeing looks like Mark Landerville or LaCroix. Yeah.
And you can see James Dean in the background like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
One guy's looking this way, the guy's looking this way, the other guy's saying, what do you want from me?
Yeah, there's Matt Field just waiting. I mean, he's just going to stay out of it, and ideally gets it back together, but is it worthy? A ratchet strap?
Is it safe? It's got to be cleared by our guys, and I imagine that if it drove past him, that it probably has. So now this means...
I saw a ratchet strap. He doesn't have an intercooler, or you saw them take off the intercooler there. Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, Matt Field's like, whatever, man. But here's the deal. So if Matt Field does run, so as we said, Dean, competition timeout, he's out. Matt Field is able to run. If he does, yeah, Dean is 100%. No, we didn't find that out. Pat, so Dean did make his 5.
Yeah. So this is a I must not have a incomplete run for Matt Field.
Right.
That's what this represents.
Wow. Yeah. And, oh my goodness. All right. So we are attempting to get Ryan Turk off of the course here as we have some. Yep. That's you on the screen, dancing media. All right. So. Man, when we return, we'll take another quick break. We'll get Ryan Turk off course here. That was to be our final battle, but now it looks like we will potentially be seeing Matt Field and Dean Carney on the second half of their battle, and we saw it was Dean's fault. As you said, Ryan, we'll see if Matt Field's car is able to run, and man, insane. So when we return, more action here in more ways than one. Round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship.
So here we are on board in the paddock with Ken Gushi. Now, just as a reminder, if you're tuning in, Ken Gushi was not at fault for the incident with Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk was charged for the fault after making the mistake understeering into the first section of the bank. Gushi will have 10 minutes to fix the vehicle in order to get back out onto the grid to possibly run the second half of that battle. If he doesn't make his 10 minutes, he still has his competition timeout, and he can add an extra 5. That's exactly what Matt Field did. Now, Matt Field was cleared. He will be sent back to do the second half of the run with Dean Carney, which means that he will have a big advantage as Dean is charged with the fault for the collision that resulted in Matt Field being projected into the barrier wall closest to the main grandstand. So now we're up close and personal with Ken Gushi's team. And our tow truck guy is working his tail off tonight. We're definitely getting our money's worth. I saw somebody put that up on tag board. He's going out to now pick up Ryan Turk. So double incidents. Turk is still dead in the water out on the track, sustaining some pretty heavy damage as well. And you can see the front right looks to be, the front right and front rear look to be the most heavily damaged from Ken Gucci. Obviously, that was the side that he made contact with the wall. So you can see his team feverishly working away here. We'll get you the clock time as soon as that registers in front of us. Kevin Wells, our technical director, certainly working very hard tonight. Multiple competition timeouts in the top 32. Oh, can we go back to that and see how much time he has on the 10? So 7:37. So he's just barely into it. Team doesn't seem to be too worried right now. You can see Kyle Mohan assisting with the light. This is one of the things I love about drifting, is that all the other teams help out when a driver is in need. There's JTP's, I believe that's one of his main crew guys helping out there, install suspension componentry back on Gucci's car. You can see the TV crew in there as well, capturing this for CBS Sports. Wow, this has been a crazy Canada so far. It lived up to expectations last year, and this year it looks like an Irwindale-style type event where drivers are basically throwing everything at this and trying to adjust to these insane conditions that we have, where every car, it seems, like in the top 16 has an opportunity to win tonight's event.
Yeah, we're still in the top 16. We're not even out of the 16.
Yeah, right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers in the grade 8. So we've got James Dean going up against Robbie Nishida, who James Dean has basically been kind of hanging out all day. Frederick Osbo going up against Mark Landerville. Kristaps Blush will take on the winner of Matt Field and Dean Carney. Field currently right now having that advantage. Vaughn Gittin Jr. was able to take out Justin Pollock, and he will be taking on the winner of Ryan Turk and Ken Gucci. So you can see Lorette Nickel there with Ken Gucci, and I'm sure we'll get some words with him. We'll see what he has to say about his current situation, which doesn't look bleak at the moment, even though it looks like the car is completely mangled up. But these guys have an incredible ability to get these cars back in running condition, as we saw earlier with Matt Field. All right, let's throw down to Lorette Nickel, who I believe is with Ken Gucci.
Thanks, Ryan. Ken, just wanted to catch up with you. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I've had worse accidents, but this one's pretty bad for our car. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that this happens. I mean, I guess it's part of drifting, but you know, everyone's been pushing hard all night. I guess someone was saying that this was the fifth big wreck of the top 16. So, you know, my spotter just told me I have to push hard against Ryan because he has been having a really solid chase all weekend. So I did exactly that, stayed side by side throughout the most of the straight. And as soon as we entered out as a 1, I noticed that his front tires were pointing the other direction. So I knew something was up, but then he tried to power through it. And when I got back on the power, he was completely sucked into the wall, and I really had nowhere to go. So, you know, that's just part of the competition, I guess. But it looks like our car has really bad frame damage, and I don't know like how far my team can get the car fixed. But we do have 10 minutes and another 5 minutes, so we'll see where that takes us. But I do really want to continue on with the night, so we'll see.
Ken, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette. And man, look at that. The team, you're seeing Aldo there from Jonathan Castro's team. He's working on it. You've seen the Gretti, JTP. You're seeing all the teams. All right, so Ryan Turk riding shotgun here with the wrecker. See if get this car back, and there you go, Ryan Turk waving to the crowd. This is the same position he was in yesterday. So we'll see. His name is Performance Team working hard again. You can see, look at hella flush, yo. Look at that thing. All right, so when we come back, let's see what unfolds. Field and Carney, see if they can get their cars back up and running, and these twin GT86s when we return here to St. Eustache. So we can see that of Ryan Turk's car and the Nameless Performance Team. Looks like they're getting to work on their thing. And we are hearing that Matt Field and Dean Carney are able to run. So this is a look at the first portion of their battle. Bing, bong, boom.
That's how it all started right there. Yeah. And then this is the journey that happened. You can see Matt Field's car falls off the flatbed. Dean's team going nuts on the front bumper. Try to get that thing in somewhat of operating condition. He was able to complete his 5 by whatever magic they were able to pull. Matt Field's team, along with a bunch of other drivers, pulled together, massive teamwork. Were able to get the car not only in running condition, but back out to the line right now. So all Matt Field needs to do is not get an incomplete on this next run. That's all he needs to do, and that's a big if, I think, because there's no real way to know.
He didn't really set the toe. Like, I mean, there's a lot of variables.
There's no real way to know how the car is going to compete in competition, if it's going to be competition ready. I mean, they're able to go and be in the burnout box and try to get the car running to its best ability, but they have limited space back there. They're not able to do any big pulls. The standard for our crew is that it's safe, that it can get back out on course. It doesn't have to look pretty, and obviously these two cars are not winning any beauty contests anytime soon.
Hey, round of applause for all the hard teamwork. You know what I mean? All the crew and staff, and we're seeing all the different teams work on each other's cars. I mean, these cars, oh man, this is a demolition derby, and last man survives, man. This is unreal. So Matt Field pushing for it, and if he, as you said, doesn't get an incomplete run, he's in the chase position. Don't want to see inactive race. Don't want to see him spin out. Dean Carney, he needs to throw down a run and have Matt Field mess up, and it could go one more time.
If it goes,
that's the crazy thing too, is that scenario could happen too.
Right. Another possible scenario is we don't know how well Dean's car is put back together. Right. If they by chance were to get 2 incompletes, then Field would still win.
Right.
So because we would default back.
Okay, so again, Dean will lead. Matt Field will give chase. The second half of this battle, we just saw what happened with Field out front. Now Dean's out front. We got one headlight between the two cars. The lights are on here at St. Eustache. Look at this thing. This is like missile cars. 1,000 horsepower missile cars coming into that outer zone. Everybody very timid of that outer zone. So Dean now transitions where the incident happened for these two gentlemen as Field. You can see him lifting up, thrashing on it.
I think Field's going to make it.
I think Field could power through.
One more turn for Field.
This. One more turn for Field, and he is going to advance on into the grade 8. So, you know, wow. I think a lot of applause and, you know, a lot of respect to Matt Field because Dean actually did cause that. I mean, you know, I don't think he wanted to cause any damage. It was unfortunate. It was an accident. That's why they're called accidents. But I think people are impressed that Matt Field got it back together.
Yeah, I mean, both teams obviously are pushing very, very hard. Matt took the greater of the damage, it looks like. I mean, definitely from just a pure cosmetic standpoint. But we have really no idea how much actual internal damage was done. It looks like he's doing this without the supercharger as well. From the first looks of it, but either way, a huge round of applause due to Field team in getting it back out there, because now he is going to be moving on into the grade 8, and he has 1, 2, 3 battles to prepare for his battle against Kristaps Blush. So whatever he can do in order to get that car back to the level that he wants in order to face Kristaps, he's got to do it in that time frame.
Yeah, so the timeline goes that he will go against Kristaps. As you said, you have 1, 2, 3 battles, or you know, we have to see what happens with Turk and Gucci. But here it is again. This is again with Dean out front. You see Matt Field just standing on it. Transitioning past that front clip, Dean does what he needed to do. And I mean, it's, I don't say a miracle, but these guys strapped the cars back together, both of them. So hats off to Dean's team as well as Field's team. So get the wrecker out here once again. We need a tow. And it looks like he's making his way out there. There it is. Make some noise for Matt Field.
Get a fucking 19.
All right, so emotions running high here. All right, so the results are in for Dean and Field, or I should say Carney and Field, utilizing their last names. Carney and Field, slide them left for Carney and right for Matt Field. 777, the Beast from the Bay, from San Jose, California, advances on. So Matt Field gets the win and advances on. 2 minutes left for Ryan Turk, and this would mean that Ken Gushi would advance on if the car is not able to run. Shout out to Ren Kirkham. How are we doing from Donut Media? Watching from Venice, California. How are we doing, Rennie? As, I mean, 2 minutes. Look at this. It does not. Wow. So Ryan, you're getting updates from all our officials. So what's interesting here is again, Ryan Turk has he's got his comp time out, but yeah, I don't think this is gonna happen. All right, 1 minute. It's not gonna happen. There's no way that thing's gonna get buttoned up, tires on the ground. Man, just a crazy turn of events here for just a wild top 16. And, you know, what's crazy, too, is on the CBS Sports show, we whittle it down to show the grade 8. The fans on the CBS show aren't going to see all the 32 and the 16 that really unfolded a wacky story here in Canada. And Vaughn Gittin Jr. over there looking on. As all right, so time has had to have been. Yep, that's it. That's it. So that is it. We are getting updates. We're talking Gushi. We're talking Ryan Turk. There's Matt Field, and emotions running high for teams, staff, crew, everybody. So we are finding out what's going on. We'll find out. We're hearing murmurs that Gushi was not able to fix his car in the allotted time, and we just saw Turk's 5-minute expire. So Turk was at fault. So that if Gushi was unable to fix his car and unable to pull the line. Okay, so how this is working and transpiring, we are hearing, so in between Turk and Gush, neither of them were able to fix their vehicles in a lot of time. So that means Ken Gushi would receive the points advancing to the grade 8, but not able to compete and run in the 8 to advance onto the 4. So basically, Vaughn Gittin Jr. will advance to the Final 4. That's how it unfolds. So Gushi essentially gets the points for the victory, but unable to do battle against Vaughn Gittin Jr. So that means Vaughn advances on to the Final 4. When we come back, we do have our grade 8 shaped up. When we come back, hopefully we'll see our first battle, and that should be James Dean and that of Robbie Nishida. It's so crazy. Make some noise for all these guys when we come back. Round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. All right, welcome back as we are live here at round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, and we have officially entered the grade 8. But first off, before we see our first battle on the grade 8, Laurent Nickel is with Matt Field.
Jared, thank you. Matt Field, how do you even put into words what has happened?
Dean smashed me. I hit the wall. We fixed it. My drive shaft broke because tow truck driver dropped my car on the drive shaft as we were unloading it. So now the car's back. We're going to put a new drive shaft in it and go out again.
What are your expectations going back out there?
I'm going to be happy to make it around the track for 2 runs, obviously. We're going against Blues. He's badass, so it's going to be tough. But if the car makes it around the track, I'll be there, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, best of luck.
Ho-ho!
Guys, back to you.
Oh man, we're laughing, all of us up here in the booth, just because, yeah, it's zany, it's wacky, it's interesting, and it's drifting. That's why the sport is just as unique as it is, and the tenacity. I've seen a few of the comments, but yeah, these guys work hard, and you know, for the glory, for the victory, and you know, as he said, he's got to go against Christos Blush, which, you know, he's coming out unscathed, because on one side of the bracket, Ryan, let's talk about who's in the grade 8. Our first battle, it's James Dean, our #1 qualifier. As you said, he's kind of been quote unquote chilling all day. I wouldn't say that. I mean, he had to go against Dai Yoshihara, but Robin Ishida, look at him. He has a bye from the 16 into the 8.
Yeah, I would say those two guys have basically had the easiest day, even though by relative standards it hasn't been super easy. But now they're going to compete against each other in the grade 8. And then we've got Frederick Osbo and Mark Landerville battling each other on the second battle of the grade 8.
Ryan, it will be noted there, that was an Oracle Lighting shirt crew member working on Field's car. So that just goes to show you again, what happened, it happened. It's under the bridge, water under the bridge. Now you got some of Dean Carney's guys working on Matt Field's car. See, look at that. There they are. They're working on Matt's car. So, you know, he hit him, had the contact. Now they're going to try to get that carbon fiber drive shaft back underneath Matt
really
Field's
cool.
car. I mean, dude, this is just insane. This is a wacky event, but it's, we've come to expect these kind of things, and I think I really enjoy seeing these guys working. Everybody has a different perspective when it comes to either you and I, staff, team, driver, crew, fans. Everybody has a different perspective. That's why it's so great with social media. You're seeing videos of different drivers, both, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You're seeing content being streamed out there immediately. You're seeing, you know, our show, you're seeing the live stream, you're seeing it in person if you're here in the stands, or if you're watching on CBS Sports. You got Formula Drift Insider, many different ways to engage and be a fan of Formula Drift, including the Formula Drift app. And again, my hat's off to kind of not all the unsung heroes, because they definitely get praised in different ways, but you could see him thrashing, getting the car back up and running. But Matt Field, fortunately, does have 2 battles. Is that enough time? We'll soon find out. But we have our first battle of the grade 8, James Dean, Robin Ishida, and then going down the grade 8 bracket, Frederick Osbo. Who's he going to be going against?
Landerville.
Landerville, okay. So again, first battle of the grade 8. Here we are, James Dean. These cars never looked any better. So James Dean, Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15, going against Robin Ishida, Jerry Yang Racing, Achilles Radial GTR. These guys have never seen battle against each other. Great winning percentage. Can Robin Ishida take down and really shake things up in the championship standings? Because you have 1 and 3 in the championship, Osbo and James Dean in the mix. Also Von Gint Jr., he's on the other side. I believe he's in the top 10 currently. Yeah, he's in the top 10 for sure. All right, we are ready to go. Let's see some battles. Let's keep it off the wall, fellas. Let's see a clean fight, toe-to-toe. Let's see some smoke in the air here at St. Eustache. Round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Here we go. James Dean will lead. Again, your #1 qualifier. Can he make it a perfect event? He already has 2 victories in Long Beach and Atlanta. Here we go. Robin Ishida chasing him down. James Dean initiates. Everybody kind of timid of that wall. And there goes James Dean. Big angle. Nice job from Dean. Robin Ishida brings it on home. The latter portion of the outside clipping zone. And Dean out to the outside zone. Look at the lights, the light wave filling the St. Eustache audience. And around that final clip goes James Dean, flirting with that racing line edge. The fans still sticking around, man. They're loving it.
Well, once again, James Dean starting off real strong here. You can see a solid initiation. Grabs a little bit of e-brake to position himself. Stays pretty deep into this outer zone. A bit of a gap here. Now Robin Ishida trying to close the door, coming off the bank into this first inside clip. Dean gets out to that touch and go. You can see his brake lights right there, right up against the wall. Great shot in the background as the drivers come into that second inside clip. Ishida goes a little bit wide there, loses some ground to James Dean as he wraps around that last inside clip. So good start for James Dean. Robin Ishida's got some work cut out for him here. Couldn't hang on the latter part of the course and gave James Dean a bit of an advantage here going into this second run.
All right, we are seeing the caution lights on, and the safety truck hitting the track. Might have been something coming off, but we are seeing, again, Robbie Nishida will lead. And James Dean will give chase. All right, we are good to go. Let's go. Let's send it. Here we go. Our first battle, the grade 8. Who's going on to the final 4? James Dean, #1 qualifier. He's chasing down Robbie Nishida. See if he can throw some Achilles radial smoke in his face. Can he take down our current points leader, James Dean? Nishida out of the gate. Here comes James Dean. In tow, initiating almost identical time. And there goes James Dean. You've seen that left foot tapping the brake. That front brake light illuminated almost entirely through that outside zone, transitioning into the second outer zone. Goes Nishida. Nice job by Nishida. The fans lighten up the stands, and the drivers lighten up the track. Here we go around that final clip. Nishida and Dean. You can see Nishida throwing some flames out the bottom there. Ryan, what say you?
Well, we saw that bit of a mistake from Nishida on the second half of the course, just not really able to keep proximity. Dean starts off aggressively here, keeps the pressure on Robbie. He's doing a pretty good job out front. You can see Nishida hits that first inside clip. Doesn't fully reach out to the touch and go, but a competitive lead lap here as we compare it to James' lead lap. But you can see just not able to shake James Dean in the chase position. Great run here by James, keeping the pressure on the entire time around the course.
Okay, so the results are in. Did Nishida take down James Dean? Slide him left for Nishida or right for James Dean. Gets the victory unanimously. James Dean gets the victory and will advance on to the final 4. That means he will podium at minimum 3rd place due to his #1 qualifying position. So he will be on the podium, but wants to better it as going for the win. And the highest percentage, as voted on by the fans via the app, said that James Dean would get the win. Let's see if the fans, again, he had the highest percentage as voted on by the fans to be the #1 qualifier, and that came true. So again, we'll see if the fans contributing on the app are correct. All right, so Frederick Osbo versus Mark Landerville. Osbo has won 2 years in a row prior to this, so can he make it a 3 in a row up here in Canada? All right, Mark Landerville coming underneath the grandstands. So one of these gentlemen going against James Dean in the final 4. On the other side, we'll see Matt Field go against Christos Blush, and then Von Gint Jr. will have a bye run, as unfortunately Gucci not able to advance. All right, we are ready to send it here. Frederick Osbo, Norwegian Hammer out front. Mark Landerville will be in the rearview mirror of the Toyota Corolla IM. Here comes Osbo. Osbo initiates aggressively. The hot hatchback. Landerville, look at that, now turning it up. This is the Landerville we've known, but now look, Osbo pulling away. Wow. Flying through the course. Frederick Osbo doesn't seem like he's been watching the rest of the competition, because he is just throwing caution to the wind, or that Rockstar Energy drink Toyota Corolla IM, but Landerville is right there as well. A great dogfight there between these two gentlemen.
Well, a good start for Osbo. Look at that quick, snappy initiation, using a little bit of brake there to get his line just right. He goes deep into the zone. Landerville falls off for a second. A little bit less angle there. Osbo out of that first outer zone, tight on that inside clip, blazing through the touch and go. And very good job. He leaves that second outer zone a little bit early, but he's tight on this inside clip, and this is where Landerville attacks towards the end, through the smoke line. Close the door a little bit as both drivers explode that last inside clip.
All right, let's alternate the order now. Landerville will be out front. And are we not seeing him? Is he calling a competition timeout? So Landerville okay, so Landerville had a bumper underneath his car, so they removed it from underneath his vehicle. So Landerville, he will now lead. Osbo giving chase, no competition timeout utilized because Landerville doesn't have one. So if we are kind of doing the due diligence to make sure we are good to go. Landerville out front, Perry Performance center, Run BC. And going against, again, this 4-cylinder turbo Toyota Corolla IM. Who's going to advance on? Who's going against James Dean in the final 4? Is it going to be the only Canadian in competition or the Norwegian Hammer? Here we go. Through the start chicane, we have a clean start. The headlight is on of Landerville. Throws it into the bank. Massages it, works it out there, great smoke. Look at the angle from Landerville. Cannot see Osbo, but he cuts through the smoke like a knife. Well executed, good composure there from Osbo. Landerville tucking into formation, not as much angle, but great proximity, nosing in. Transitioning through that final clip. Wow. Woo! Ryan Sage, that was fun, man. That was a fun one to watch.
Yeah, our first battle without any connection with a wall so far in the past couple runs, and now you can see here, big angle. Watch Osbo as he comes through the smoke line. He's going to initiate a transition a little bit early. He sees the cone, has to make an adjustment there, but he keeps the proximity on. You can see the dip right there from Landerville, absolutely throttle smashed. Osbo through the smoke line, keeping it close to Landerville. Great battle here. Landerville putting up an incredible fight here. Tons of smoke out on course. Landerville all the way, 110%. And we got a great battle here. Great battle here.
Wow, we are hearing chants of one more time. Is that the Canadian fans thinking that Frederick Osbo took them out, or are they legitimately thinking that it was close? Do we have a victory? We're hearing chants. Okay, so all right, so again, as we have Landerville and Osbo. Osbo trying to make it a three-peat. He won here in 2015-16. Can he make it again if he advances on, or is Landerville going to be a spoiler and shake things up as far as points? The results are in. Is it the Norwegian Hammer, or is it Mark Landerville? Slide him left for Landerville, right for Osbo. Are they going one more time? Andy says one more time. Brian and Ryan. Brian says Osbo, and finally Ryan says Frederick Osbo gets the victory. Osbo gets the win and advances on. Boos erupt from the Canadian fans, but you can see there's some applause cutting through. And there you have it. So again, Frederick Osbo. So James Dean watching on. Yep, that's who you got to go against there, Diener. Dean the Machine.
Tough battle next.
James Dean going against Osbo in the final 4. All right, so somebody put some sort of fluid down at the start. We will be cleaning that up. That actually works out to the benefit of Matt Field. But first off, we have Kristaps Blues, who's going to be going against Matt Field. Kristaps Blues caught up with our own Lorette Nickel. Lorette?
Kristaps Blues is going against Matt Field, and when you have a driver that is in a car that's injured, does that do anything that worries you?
Not a lot. I just have to do the same what I'm doing, see what the guys will figure it out. They know what they are doing, so he's not really down on power. He still has some power left, and the car is still on 4 wheels, so definitely he's still in the game, and I should respect him.
So what's the plan going against Matt?
Just do my best in my lead run and see how it goes, how he can handle it behind me, and see if I need to take a risks on my chase run or just drive it safe, but probably not gonna leave a big room, because that's not what we are here for.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Kristaps is such a good dude, man. He's
the best.
The more you get to know him, the more you get to know his personality. Is actually he's really funny. He's really a charismatic cat, and it comes across that he's just got broken English, but he knows what he's talking about. He's here to have fun. If he could, he'd probably say some expletives and just be like, "I'm here to crush," like, just smash everybody. So, but yeah, reading in between that. Nice. The Russians fixed the race. So when we come back, we'll clean up the start line, and we'll see Kristaps Blush against Matt Field. And then after that, we'll see Von Gittin Jr. with a bye run. Then our final four will be set here at round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras, when we return our next battle of Blush and Field. All right, so we are... Again, we have 2 drivers, or excuse me, 3 actually, technically, in the final 4. One more battle, and one of those drivers who's keeping it calm, cool, collected. The car looks unscathed, and that is James Dean, Lorette Nickel, and James Dean down in the pits.
With a night that is full of chaos and mayhem, James Dean, this track has been really unforgiving. How are you going to get through this?
It's really challenging, and now that the track is dark, it's totally different to drive. So our usual vantage points that we've been looking at all throughout practice are different. So, and that wall just catches you out. It's not forgiving because it's not one bit smooth. So it's very unfortunate to see so many accidents. I'm really glad that we haven't been a part of it, but yeah, it's tough out there.
So you were just watching the live stream. You know you're going against Frederick Osbo. How do you put your best foot forward?
Yeah, well, going against Osbo, you have to give it 110%, and very similar approach to what we did with Dye. Just try our best lead run we can do, and I think he'll be very good to chase, and just push as hard as possible and see what happens. But it's just not as easy in the darkness. But we'll definitely fight and try our best to put on a good show. That's the main thing. I'm super happy to have a guaranteed podium spot, and that for me is a weekend job done. Very happy. So yeah, great weekend so far.
James, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you, Lorette, and good luck to you, James Dean, going against Osbo. The cars are in the box: Matt Field, Kristaps Blush. So we will see who joins Dean, Osbo, and Gittin. So we should be seeing the headlights, or I should say the headlights of Blush, but no headlights of Matt Field. Wall is not the most valuable player, but again, taking a look at Matt Field. This is the accident between Carney and Field. Just such a hard hit. This is where, yeah, you see, it looked like the cable got released. Because you saw it had tension, and it got undone, and it rolled off. And that's what Matt Field's saying, how his drive shaft broke. They got it fired up. You can see that big intake manifold sticking out. No, nothing on it. No filter. On dog. Say no more. So Kristaps Blush, Matt Field. These guys have gone against each other twice before, with Matt Field getting the victory. Yeah, Blush is ripping through the course. Matt Field now, having seen a couple of the walls here at the track.
I'd love to know what Field's team has done in the interim between taking out Dean Carney and where he's at now, if they've been able to make any marginal advancements to the car. I mean, obviously aesthetically it's basically about the same, but I'm just wondering from a performance standpoint how it's going to hold up against Kristaps, who has really, besides the wall hit that he had in practice, has really not sustained too much damage, at least not any noticeable damage in terms of his overall performance. He still looks like the same old Kristaps, you know, blazing fast with a lot of grip in his last run. So this will be really interesting to see. We'll be able to tell pretty quickly how much of a fight Matt Field's going to be able to make up, but either way, his team and him certainly have our appreciation for doing what they've done to really give the fans an incredible show and sacrifice the vehicle and everything that they've done here tonight. So this has been a pretty crazy event.
All right, here we go. Kristaps Blush and that of Matt Field. Blush will lead. Blush initiates into that outer zone. And Matt Field, you can see again, we were talking about Blush really having that horsepower and pulling away fast through the course, quick transition. But Matt Field, he's hanging in there. Given the circumstances, not as much angle, but now still just fighting for it. Wow, look at that. Max angle. Big Achilles radial smoke coming off the back of that BMW. Not bad from Matt Field. You know, you can see he tried to get out of the gate really quick in order to maintain or give himself a good shot to maintain good proximity to Kristaps Blush. You can see Blush though incredibly fast. Good lead run from him so far. Nice and tight on that first inside flip. Doesn't reach all the way up to the touch and go, but still blazing fast through the touch and go and that second outer zone. Field hanging with him here. Not too shabby, all things considered. And then Blush on this last inside flip, nice and tight here. Field right behind him through that big cloud of smoke. So Blush not pulling any punches here, still going at a very high clip. And now they'll switch it up. Matt Field will go to the lead. Kristaps Blush will chase him down. Yeah, this should be interesting, and we wanted to make sure that that Field's brake lights are working and running. And they are good. You can see them illuminated there. So Field will be out front. Falcon tire, S14, and the HGK BMW. And we are good to go. Looks like the checking the cameras, making sure they are affixed. All right. And start is ready to go. Second half of this battle, who's going against Vaughn Gittin Jr.? As Vaughn is already set to go into the Final Four, unfortunately, because Ken Gucci was not able to run. Vaughn gets the fast pass from the 8 into the 4. And here we go. Matt Field throws it in. See it gripping up, staying away from the wall. See if he can gain some distance between him and the wall. Transitioning past that first front clip. Matt Field dancing, riding high. Kristaps Blush. Yeah, not bad for Matt Field at all. Doesn't look very affected, man. I mean, as we said, you know, the car's seen better days, but that still looked very feverish. Yeah, still performing at a pretty high level here. Initiates, looking for that outer zone. He's a bit off that outer zone, however, though. He does not really get, I don't blame him for not going out there. But back around that first inside flip, tight there, gets out to the touch and go, leaves that second outer zone a little bit early. I think these are some of the things that judges may be looking at in a more detailed way, is that Field is making his way through the course pretty well, but perhaps he's not, his lead run was not as good as Kristaps in terms of getting to the outside zone on zone number 1 and zone number 2. I think it'd be a real victory there for Matt Field if he defeated Kristaps Blush. And Kristaps, you know, he wants to advance. He's, as I said, he's just been outside of getting a win. He's gotten a couple second podium spot, second position. So looks like the results are in. Slide him left for Field, right for Kristaps, and Kristaps Blush gets the victory. But hat tip to Matt Field and his team. And man, you know, that's again just a lot of hard work, that all these teams are putting in, and you could see the Canadian fans loving it. So our final four is set. We'll see a bye run from Vaughn Gittin Jr., but it will be Blush and Vaughn Gittin Jr. going against each other. Can James Dean, he is guaranteed a podium at minimum third place, even if he loses against Frederick Osbo because of his #1 qualifying position. And then Blush and Vaughn Gittin Jr. Kristaps qualifying second. So if Dean wins, Blush loses to Gittin, Blush would get third place. All right, so as Vaughn Gittin Jr. All right, so Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s bye run. This is a good opportunity for him to test out his grip, check out his settings. Hammered down right now for Vaughn Gittin Jr. As Vaughn, look at that, smoke trail through the entire course. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. advances on into the final four because Ken Gucci had to retire. So again, the final four is set. James Dean, our #1 qualifier, will go against Frederick Osbo on one side of the bracket. On the other side, it's the Latvian driver of Kristaps Blush going against that man, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Who's going to the finals? We'll find out when we return here, round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. All right, so this looks like Vaughn Gittin Jr. now getting pushed off. He made that bye run, but some obvious issues here for the 2010 FD champ. So even on a bye run, somebody has an incident. So, man, what a bummer. So the final four is here. We have a few more things. Again, a few more moments. Text BVMON1 to 38714 for a chance to win a free Blackview dash camera. Must be 18 or over to enter. Retail value of almost $400. Again, text BVMON1 to 38714. Blackview dash cameras, you and your car connected. Autographed wallets from some of the Takata wallet, or excuse me, the Takata sponsored drivers, Osbo, Forsberg, Field, Mad Mike, just a few of them. Find yours at TakataRacing.com. Again, find yours at TakataRacing.com. And when we come back, our first battle of the final four, James Dean, Frederick Osbo. It is Ireland versus Norway. Toyota versus Nissan when we come back. Well, as you can see, one car is to the start line, and that is James Dean. James Dean is ready to do battle against Frederick Osbo. We can see just a quick little glance there. Vaughn Gittin Jr., the hood was off. They're checking on his car. Why did he lose power? Oh, that thing, look at that. Looks like it's running hot. Shut it off. Staying hydrated. Cranking some, oh boy. We're seeing, wow. That might be, I'm seeing, I mean, that's the universal signal for throat chop is you're out. Wow. So that could be an interesting turn of events there for Vaughn Gittin Jr. Blush could advance on, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. could be knocked out. So let's find out. So we'll find out. We'll see if they can get the car fixed, up and running.
Saying that turn the motor over, sounds pretty tight. Thinks we're going to grenade.
Oh boy. All right, so as we see James Dean still at the start, here comes Osbo.
James Dean and Osbo.
Yes, we are ready. James Dean, Frederick Osbo have not seen battle against each other. Look at those amazing winning percentages. James Dean 75%, Osbo 73, and Osbo seeing a lot more FD battles than Dean, and with the high winning percentage, that's fantastic for Norwegian Hammer. Here we go. James Dean will lead. He is your #1 qualifier. Osbo was what did he qualify? 4th. Osbo qualified 4th. So here we go. Dean out front, Osbo in chase. Through the start chicane goes James Dean. We got a clean start. The Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15. Out front, Osbo right there on the door of James Dean, the Machine. The Machine versus the Hammer. Coming into that first front clip, nice job. Just massaging it around. Now into that second outer zone. Boom, right on that front clip, just knocking it out. One more front clip away. Big, massive flick from both the drivers. Make some noise. Woo! Getting some applause and some yells from the Canadian fans.
Great battle here. Incredible lead by James Dean to start it off, but Osbo tucks up on the inside, super close. Both drivers left foot braking. Osbo coming off the bank is going to make one tiny mistake here. Watch as he transitions a little bit early. He's going to have to avoid that inside clip just by a little bit there, but then he gets back on it. Dean tries to sweep out wide to that second outer zone. Osbo not letting him get away, wrapping around the second inside clip. Through this last turn right here, switching back around. Osbo on the door of James Dean, and a great battle there. Both drivers need to come out and knock it out of the park on this next run, because that was very, very close.
Yeah, this is one for the ages, and I saw even some fans alluding to it, said keep this battle in mind. This should be a fun one. So now Frederick Osbo will lead. James Dean giving chase. So the fans really sticking around to find out who is going to advance on, get the win. Osbo will lead. Dean will give chase. Who's going to the finals? Regardless of the outcomes, excuse me, James Dean will get a podium. Here we go, Osbo out front. Dean will be in the rearview mirror. Here we go. Osbo throws it in, nice job there. James Dean, wow, right there. Wheel to wheel. Mimicking the angle, great job there by Dean, but Osbo, solid transition, snappy for both the guys. James Dean falls back a little bit. Is there a chink in his armor? James Dean falling back. Tucked into the smoke, and Osbo. Did James Dean just lose to Frederick Osbo? A little flick of the wrist. Ryan, let's look at this again.
Well, James Dean was hanging in there, but it looks like he's going to get bested by Frederick Osbo. Dean on the inside right here, super close. Osbo reaching out to the first outer zone. Through the smoke cloud is James Dean on the transition. Osbo tight on that first inside clip. Osbo out to the touch and go. And right there, Osbo burns him. You can see right here, James could not hang on to that section of the course with the speed and the line that Osbo had, and now really falls way far back. Are we seeing the first weakness of James Dean as Frederick Osbo comes across the finish line with about 10 car lengths between the leader of the series right now and James Dean?
Quickly.
Looks like he knows it, gives it up for Frederick Osbo. Two amazing competitors here in the final four, but it looks like the nod is going to go to Frederick Osbo.
Wow, Frederick Osbo in the debut of that new car. He's looking strong. It's the same engine setup, but it looks like he is taking down our current points leader. Slide him left for Osbo, right for Dean. 1, 2, 3. It's unanimous. Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, advances on to the finals. That means James Dean will get 3rd place because of his #1 qualification. Frederick Osbo qualified 4th. So, wow, so look at this. So Frederick Osbo goes to the finals. James Dean will get 3rd place because #1 qualification, but we have a major update in the pits. As I said, I was alluding to it, the universal signal, the throat chop, never a good thing. Lorette?
Actually, for Von Gittin Jr., not the way that you wanted to end your night. What happened?
Went out for my bye run. Just drove it as hard as I could. We were testing the setup. We knew we had to run blues. He had a couple miles an hour on us most of the day, so we put a little more grip in the car, and I ran it about 100% throttle all the way through the course. And coming around the last clip, I saw some red on my dash, low oil pressure, shut the car down, had the guys tow me up, and found out that the belt just blew off the oil pressure pump. And we checked the data, and it turns out the car ran at wide open throttle for about 12 seconds with no oil pressure. Right now, this very expensive, wonderful Ford Performance Roush Yates engine is still running. We only have about 2 weeks between now and Seattle, so we are making the call. If we go and run it right now, 90% chance it's just going to explode. So we're gonna salvage it. We got 2 weeks. Car's got to leave about a week and a half actually for Seattle. So we got to make the executive decision and call the boys at Roush Yates, and hopefully they'll be able to get some work done for us in time. So it's a bummer, to start where we did this weekend with a horrible qualifying and chasing everything to being where we were. I was really looking forward to Blues, and was really hoping to meet James Dean in the finals and get that battle in. So. It is what it is. This is drifting. We're hard on stuff. But, losing a belt on an oil pump, I tell you, damn. The only reason that thing's not exploded is because, we use Pennzoil. So, all good and rocking and rolling. We'll see y'all in Seattle.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Rock and roll.
What an insane event! As he said, everybody's hard on their product.
Is this most insane of 2017 so far?
It has to be. It has to be. I mean, it has to be.
It has to be. Oreos, peanut butter.
Get some. I don't know. Is it Ryan? Oh, man. So, with that, Von Gittin Jr. retires. Christoph Blush has a bye run. He will go to the finals against Osbo. And you know what? Redemption. Again, remember Osbo and Blush last year in Orlando, and we'll see if it happens. It didn't. It happened again earlier, but Blush, he wants some redemption.
Let's look at the big picture here.
Right.
So we have
championship.
a lot of things transpiring at this event, but probably the most significant at the moment is James Dean getting taken out by Frederick Osbo for the championship, at least. Right now, Frederick Osbo was about 67 points outside of first place.
Right.
Michael Essa has dropped way down. He was about 50 some odd points out of first place.
Right.
Osbo is going to make up at least 40-plus points, if not more, depending on how he does here.
But James Dean still got 3rd place. And he was #1 qualified.
Yeah, he's going to, depending on how Frederick Osbo wins, it's either going to be, if he wins or not, it's either going to be a 20-point advancement or a 40-point advancement over Dean where he finishes. So that's going to close the gap. Dean will still be sitting in first place, and Osbo will be in the hunt, absolutely sure.
Right.
We've got Ryan Turk that was still in competition until the grade 8. Odie Bachus went out late, so it looks like the championship is going to be a Frederick Osbo, James Dean hunt for the remainder of the season, depending on what happens, obviously. But usually around round 5, we start to talk about what the real championship contenders are. And it looks like right now it's James Dean and Frederick Osbo.
And you can still not count out Ryan Turk. He got eliminated really early there. But right now, Christoph Blush, he had his bye run. The Latvian driver, HGK Motorsports, Achilles Radial, WiseFab, BMW, Mass Motorsports. He's going to the finals. He's going against Frederick Osbo. who's going to get the victory. We saw this in Orlando last year. It was one for the books, and it was basically Blush had it. He was one clipping point away, spun, and lost it. Multiple second places. Osbo has a win. Who's going to come in on top? When we return, the finals are finally here at True North. Round 5, the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. The finals when we return. The finals are here, Ryan, and drifting fans across the globe. It is the Latvian driver of Kristaps Blush and notably Frederick Osbo. Not only is he going for the victory here, going for points, but also to hold the title for the most event wins. He would be the first ever Formula Drift driver with the first double digits. So if he gets the win, he gets 10 wins, leading the charge. That's because currently, obviously, as you can see, tied with Von Gittin Jr. and Sam Hubinette. Right behind him, Forsberg, Yoshihara, then Faust and Millen, which haven't competed in quite some time. But you know, Sam Hubinette hasn't competed in some time either, but still holding that title. But just shows you the degree of drivers and the caliber of drivers. But Frederick Osbo, if he gets the win, he will hold the title for the most event wins of any Formula Drift driver in history. So as we see Kristaps at the start line, his HGK, Achilles Radial, Wisefab, Motul, BMW, look at that, undefeated. Frederick Osbo taking out Kristaps Blush. But the confidence level of, I gotta say, both of these guys has got to be really high. Osbo taking out James Dean, our current points leader. Kristaps, as you said, Ryan, not getting into the wall until just yesterday, not getting, or earlier today, but now seeming to really be turning it up. And you know, the way Osbo's driving, I say he's very machine-esque. They're saying he's just dialed in. He's a robot. But Kristaps has that style and that impact that could really surprise Frederick Osbo. Especially, I'd have to say that Kristaps has an advantage leading versus chasing on this first run.
Well, and like you said, Jared, we alluded to it earlier. This is an opportunity for payback against Frederick Osbo. Took that win off of him in Orlando last year. That was really Kristaps to lose, and he lost it in the last turn by making a mistake, and that's been haunting him for the past season and a half. If he can get this one back from Osbo, they'll have evened it up here. Even though Osbo has 2 wins over him in battles, it would be a win for Kristaps Blush and his first in FD history.
Here we go, let's send it. This is Kristaps Blush, Frederick Osbo, the finals here, round 5 at St. Eustache. Kristaps initiates into that menacing wall that has consumed so many vehicles, so many parts. They navigate past it, no problem. Blush throws on some more angle. Osbo now tracking down. Blush really sticking it to the wall. Massive angle from the Latvian driver. Now Frederick Osbo bringing in that second outer zone and into the back of the BMW. Nice job by Kristaps Blush, keeping the composure as Frederick Osbo now navigates fast. Oh! Contact from Osbo and Blush, but it looked like Blush had a correction there. Did he straighten? What happened there? Let's back it up. Let's look at it. Phenomenal driving up until that point, Ryan.
Well, this is an incredible lead from Kristaps Blush. He's actually able to pull a little bit of a gap on Osbo as compared to the battle with James Dean. You can see just blowing up the signs on the wall. Now let's take a look at this because Blush does a great job on that touch and go. He's very deep into the second outer zone. And as we come into the second inside clip, watch Blush out front. He's going to start losing angle on the transition, and he does not transition back around. Osbo has nowhere to go and makes contact with him. So now everything is up in the air. Blush either had a mechanical or made a big mistake here. Watch, you can see as he transitions back around, he's not going to be able to transition for some reason. Osbo does transition. He's on the inside of Blush, makes a little contact there. Here we're looking at it again from the original angle through that second inside clip. This is where Blush should be transitioning, and he just stops.
Yeah.
And then right there, Osbo gets on the brakes, avoids major contact or collision, but it looks on first pass like a big mistake here from Kristaps Blush in the final, and now we're bearing down, looking down the barrel of another win for Frederick Osbo.
So contact over here in our officials here. Yeah, go Lantain. We haven't talked too much this event. We've had a lot of craziness, but it's been pretty clear cut on what has transpired. But please elaborate.
It looks like Blush had a mechanical issue there. You can see that as soon as he goes to transition, the car straightens up. You can then see him pull the handbrake to try to reinitiate, if you will, but the car just can't do it. So clearly there's a mechanical problem with this car. Osbo did a great job of avoiding smashing into the back of him in that situation. So definitely not Osbo's fault in any way whatsoever. He had nowhere to go. Blush will have to, I guess, take a... Does he have a competition timeout?
He does.
Left?
I believe he just called the competition timeout. Just want to clarify with the officials. And all right, so it is confirmed. Christophe Blush did have a competition timeout. That means he has a 5-minute allotment. See what happened, what's going on. So only one half of the battle left to go, and it wouldn't be an FD event if we didn't have more wackiness all the way till the end. We'll announce the winner. Again, James Dean already has third. Who's going to get the victory here tonight? When we return, let's find out what happens. All right, so we can see Christophe's there in the car. And we are seeing thumbs up. We're seeing the clock tick. And if you can remember Atlanta, where he rolled off the jack stands, it made for a monumental event. And look at that, Matt Field. Man, I mean, just look at the camaraderie all the way throughout this event. So it seems like the e-brake doesn't have pressure or something. Something's going on, but.
We heard initially gearbox or diff through radio channeling, but obviously it looks like it's going to be a well-used competition timeout. He's getting strapped back in, getting ready to go. So obviously it's going to be a disadvantage for him, but Christophe never holds back no matter what the situation is, so you can expect fireworks on this next round.
Yeah, and the way everything's been unfolding, Osbo might have, we've seen it where he has not been robot-esque, where he does make mistakes. And, I mean, everything he's done today, flawless. I mean, but he does make mistakes, so he's going to push.
Well, if this event has told us anything, or the series in general, it's that anything can happen at any time.
Like, he's still smiling, laughing, though. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's not over till this fat guy sings. Talking about the podium. All right, sounds good. Oh, is he on jack stands again? Just roll off him. We don't need no stinking jack stands. I'm ready to drift. One more Batman impersonation. Just because it's been a superhero kind of evening and weekend. Hats off to Sombrero, dude. Yep. Look at the kid of the sombrero down there. Looks like a happy-go-lucky fella. If I was a hot dog, would you eat me? I think you would. Okay, so Christophe Blush having some issues, and you could see that menacing bank. Very unassuming was the word that I used yesterday and even this morning, and that is the case, man. I mean, it just looks like, it's not a big bank like a Wall. It's not a bank like a Seattle or Irwindale, but it ate up some cars, dude. That is the red and white monster.
Yeah.
That was a big sigh there, Ryan. I mean, local time. This is one of the latest events, man. It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we're getting deep into the night now. I mean, I think maybe Road Atlanta has matched this.
Yeah. Yep.
But the bank has been the story, or the Wall has been the story thus far, and just collisions in general. I mean, we saw a couple big wrecks with Denofa and with Gucci and Turk, and outside of the bank we saw some wrecks with Kearney and Matt Field. So it's been carnage all the way around. It's been Formula demolition this weekend here. And I have to imagine that is in large part due to the fact that people are fighting for every championship point. People are at a venue where they can hear these screams all the way in their vehicles. This crowd is incredibly loud. I mean, we're contained basically within a soundproof room,
right?
And we can hear the vibrations of them screaming and chanting in this room, the Batcave.
Yeah.
So it's pretty incredible, and even though we're starting to see a little thinning here, these guys have pretty much stuck around till the end of the night.
And those fans that have left, their favorite driver's been knocked out. So here we go. It's 5 in the morning in Norway. It's 6 in the morning in Latvia. So which country is going to cheer the loudest? We'll find out who's going to get out on top. Remember, Osbo has what I would definitely conclude as an advantage. After Christophe Blush had that incident, he shut it down just one clip away. Again, that could haunt him. One clip away, and he could have had a solid run there. I mean, Christophe's out front looked really strong. but now he's hoping that Osbo makes a mistake in front of him. Is that wall going to claim another victim? I mean, it would just be another wacky doodly doo.
Well, don't
for
think
Formula Drift Canada.
Don't think Kristaps is going to let Osbo get off easy here.
No, not at all.
There's no chance. Absolutely no chance.
Whackity schmackity do. Here we go. Let's send it here. This is potentially the final battle. Osbo, Blush. Round 5, Montreal, true north as Kristaps goes into the wheel of Blush, pushing him around. He knows he needs to throw it down, but the hammer bites back. Past that first front clip, Kristaps explodes it, centering it. Oh, and Blush goes into the side of Osbo as he pushes his way through. And I believe we know who's at fault. And look at that, looks like he punctured a hole through the door as Blush goes for it. And let's assess the damage. Yeah, that was...
Well, I mean, that's not too surprising, to be honest with you. I mean, Kristaps, we knew he was going to push very hard. He almost, I think he made contact with Osbo on initiation. As they come into this first inside clip, Blush is going to come up on the inside. Osbo is going to be heading out towards the touch and go. And Osbo's actually taking a wide line there. Kristaps on the inside makes contact with him there. So we're going to have to take a look at this again. There's still no conclusion to this battle just yet, but at first pass, it does look like that it's going to be on Blush. There is this area in particular, Jared, is one of the 2 areas where we have a deceleration.
Blush out on his car. He left it all out on track, and I think it's, yeah, so finish your thought there. That is one area.
I was just going to point out that even if Osbo was slowing up there, that is a deceleration area, so that would be okay. I mean, at first glance, it does look like it's going to be on Blush, and because it's in a deceleration area, Blush should be expecting Osbo to slow down there. So,
yeah, Blush was ripping in more ways than one into the door of Frederick Osbo, and okay, so again, judges want to review it. Again, Ryan, as you said, first glance, you see Kristaps going over to Frederick Osbo. What words were shared there? Are they smiling? Are they throwing some threats there? Or what's going on? What do you think, Ryan?
I think it's all love, man. You know, those guys are out there laying it all on the course. At the end of the day, you've seen the camaraderie in the series.
Right.
I mean, this has been a highfalutin example of just the amazing camaraderie that all these drivers have. You see members from other teams fixing other drivers' cars. I mean, Osbo's got a big smile on his face. Blush is in there talking to him. They're having a ball with it. I mean, I don't think they even know what the result is going to be just yet, but I don't think it really matters at this point. It's been a crazy weekend, and as soon as the judges get their replays that they want to get, we'll give you guys some answers.
Yeah, that was unreal. These guys, you see them hugging it out. That's your finals here at Montreal. We have not declared a victor. The judges still reviewing what's going on. So as they transition here, boom, bam. Thank you, guys and gals, for joining us here at Johnny Boy 13X. Thanks for chiming in. We're just having some fun here. It's so by run, crashes, competition timeouts, all of it utilized, the whole toolbox. I mean, you got to think with Kristaps quickly getting through that front clip, he had a lot of speed. He was barreling into it. Kristaps giving the fans some praise. Or excuse me, Osbo, thank you. Osbo giving the fans some praise. And now Kristaps. All right, so Ryan, I'm going to head down. I'm going to announce it here on the track. So we'll get the guys over there and we'll announce the winner.
So seeing some scores come in here, it looks like we do have a winner. We're going to send Jared on over to do the live announcement here. But it's been a crazy weekend. As we take a look at the replay one more time, we're still waiting for the third and final judge to put his independent score in. But right now we've got enough for a majority victory at this point. I think what they're looking at here is Oswald looks like he's steaming pretty deep here. Lewis is accelerating, makes contact with him. Oswald goes off course, so it won't matter. And now we've got the third score in, so it looks like it's going to be unanimous. And we've got one operational vehicle down there, I'm told. So we're going to put Kristaps Blush into Frederick Osbo's vehicle, send him down to the front of the main grandstand, and announce the victor here along with James Dean. So we'll let you guys watch on as we take in what has been an incredible weekend and certainly an incredible night here on Saturday with these competitors who have So trying to arrange for these guys to get over to the main grandstand is presenting itself to be a challenge. Now we're hearing Osbo's car is non-operational, so we're going to try to pile everybody in James Dean car or maybe walk over. And here they come now, headed on down. James Dean, his lead will tighten a little bit, but still a strong performance for him. Third place due to that #1 qualification. He had a great weekend. He was able to solidify a bye in the round of 32, take out Daijiro Yoshihara in the top 16, beat Robbie Nishida in the Great 8, and then he lost to Frederick Osbo, who made his way to the finals. On the other side of the bracket, Kristaps Blush had a bye run in the top 32. He took out Matt Kaufman in the top 16. Blush and Field was an epic battle of Field overcoming an incredible amount of adversity to take on Blush and still giving him a competitive run. Blush beat Field and then went on to face Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn had an oil pump issue and had to bow out of competition. That put Blush in the finals against Frederick Osbo. Osbo was chasing Blush, who was the higher qualified, or excuse me, Osbo was leading Blush on the second run, with Blush being the higher qualified driver, and Blush made contact with him outside of the touch and go, forcing Osbo off of the course. And now it's going to come down to the judges asserting fault, and we'll find out who the victors are. So now we've got Jared Dienda down on the track, giving the live announcement here. It's been a real pleasure to commentate for you guys this whole weekend. It was really fun yesterday, super fun today, and again, one of the craziest events that we've had in some time. I'm never surprised by the outcomes of these events. These athletes are truly top of their field, and they put on a great show for everybody. And this is one of the most amazing things to be part of. The sport is so incredible. And we'll go down to Jared right now for the announcement.
Let us know. Again, hashtag FDCan, and let everybody know that you were here. Now, without further ado, your winner here at St. Eustache, True North, round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras, is an international driver. And it's Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, part of the Rockstar Energy Drink. Toyota Racing, Toyota.
So Frederick Osbo makes some history here. He is now the first ever driver to win 10 events in his career. He bests some of the biggest names in the sport, including Samuel Hubinet, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Reese Millen, and you can see Kristaps Blush taking another podium as he gets second place. A well-fought weekend for both competitors, and now we can all take a deep breath as it's been a long run.
Congratulations. First of all, I want to tell you, you are the first driver in FD history to have 10 wins. You are the most winningest driver. Frederick, you are awash in emotion right now. Walk us through why.
used to be just, you know, an aspiring drifter, and then I didn't have a good car. I started off 15 years ago, and I never would have thought I'd ever get to FD. And then we got there, got Rookie of the Year, got our first win. Here we are, 10 wins. It's unbelievable. You know, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. I can't thank my guys enough. I had a blast here yet again. This is by far my most favorite FD event. So thanks to all you guys that are still here for coming out. Thank you.
And Steph Papadakis told you earlier today, be careful. It seems like that actually worked out.
I was sitting in the pits, and I saw cars coming in on flatbeds left and right. You know, you had Matt, you had Ken, you had Ryan. Everyone was coming in being towed. And, you know, the track temps went down, the grip went away, cars were crashing left and right. To keep it calm and cool and collected seemed to be the way to win battles here. And then I was up against James Dean. And that's a guy that you can't take it easy against. So chased with everything I had, it paid off, took the win there, moved on onto my Latvian friend here, Kristaps Blues, and he definitely gave me a greeting from Latvia in that final run, and shame about his car, but that's the way it goes. We take another win here, and I mean, I'm speechless. I'm empty.
Fredrik Aasbo, congratulations on your win and becoming the winningest driver in FD history. Ryan, Jared.
Thank you, Sector Steve and David Soma. Thank you, Santa
Well,
Stash.
that is all from Santa Stash,
Thank you,
Montreal, everybody. Jared Down finishing it up for the live audience. Fredrik Aasbo, 10 wins in his Formula Drift career. And get this, 3 wins here back to back to back by Fredrik Aasbo. It's been a real honor to commentate for you guys this weekend. An incredible fan base out here in Montreal. Plan on seeing you guys in the future, and we're signing off here from Montreal. Next stop is going to be Seattle. It's revving up as the championship is now more than halfway over. It's tightening with the battle between James Dean and Fredrik Aasbo. We'll see you next time.